It is Wednesday, my dudes, and when it is Wednesday, we paddle in the pool. Welcome one and all to Paddling Pool 368. I'm Frostix, and I'm joined with the lovely Topic. How are you feeling, man?
You know what? I'm feeling good. It's a nice Wednesday. It has like a really light drizzle outside, so it's perfect for staying in, watching some really good Splatoon. I'm just here to see, hey, who's gonna win this edition of Paddling Pool? And actually, we have one of the contenders to win Paddling Pool, number 3 seed in Tufa Attack, ready to get started versus our opposing team. One lad, 3 lasses.
Yes, Tufa Attack consisting of Tan, Tufa themselves, Zen, and Enamel, going up against One Lad, Three Lasses, consisting of Atlas, Ivory, Big T, and I Hate Hop. You know what? Maybe we do too.
We're all Hop haters, but hey, we don't even have time to hate Hop as both these teams are just ready to go and get this tournament started. Let's see what they bring out on a very controversial map mode in Rainmaker Humpback here. We're gonna see a very aggressive comps from, I believe, One Lad, Three Lasses there with the Tri-Slosher plus Dapple plus Blaster, so very in your face from Tufa Attack, bringing out the Vac for a little bit of Vac cheese maybe, but they might not even need it, as almost immediately they're gonna get 3, they're gonna get a wipeout, and we're 15 seconds in, that's the checkpoint, and even more to come.
In your face indeed here. I was going to, I wanted to point out that Tufa Attack's running that back. It allows, maybe someone like Spotlight to just be in their face. Same thing with Tufa on the Blaster. They're going to be able to get the pick onto Ivory. They're trying to just find their way forward now as a blockade has been formed. But now 2 members are down on One Lad, 3 Lasses here. Tufa's going down. 10 is trying to move in, but they get shut down by the Inkjet. But I think we're seeing this pencil duck in and out of Jetfire. They're able to push the lead to 25. That's a really strong lead for the first minute of the match.
I mean, they may not be done. You see, the backlines, 2 members of Tufa Attack are just putting up a lot of pressure, giving enough time for Tan to get set up again with that Vac onto Plat, along with the whales as well, just putting up a lot of pressure. You see, the Plat is still basically painted blue in favor of Tufa Attack, the pen on the side, just keeping that locked down as well. For One Lad, 3 Lasses, they're just being held in their base. 3 members down. It's just a splashdown. They're gonna pop it. They're not gonna get the Rainmaker. They just ran it through. And Tufa Attack, a very strong start to the tournament with a dominant game number 1 win.
They simply stood there and then kept holding forward. I don't think we are seeing any kind of magenta ink on the Tufa Attack side of the map. It was just hold forward and never look back. That's game 1.
I mean, yeah, they had their game plan. I think what really happened was at the very beginning of the game, that wipeout kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. It put One Lad, 3 Lasses in a very big deficit they had to climb themselves out of, because in the first 15 seconds, not only did they get through the checkpoint, they also got, I believe, halfway onto Plat as well, and just stood there for the entire time. Heck, you even saw they had enough time to have 2 members go on a flank as well to kind of keep the pressure up in an unorthodox way. So Tufa Attack, strong start, but we're gonna see if they can continue it, which I would be surprised if they don't continue that really strong start as we go to game number 2, Robo Ramen Zones.
So Ramen Zones, obviously, I do think One Lad, 3 Lasses, their comp can still work here. A lot is really banking on the slider from that Dapples, as well as probably that bucket as well. We're back now into a flashback replay already, and we already saw. I think that I think that was I think that's the Gal or the Blaster on Tufa Attack that was just really proactive, making sure they can use the verticality of Humpback to their advantage. But we're on Humpback now. Tufa Attack in Magenta, now still running the same comp, and we're seeing One Lad, 3 Lasses switch over to Prozen.
Yeah, it's Prozen and the Inkline both for Chump, so possibly giving their team a better way to fight within the zone and possibly a little bit further here. But we're going to see if they're able to even get there in the first place, because Tufa Attack already going on a bit of an offensive here. You see one flanking. They're able to get the zone. You see the dualies going in. They're going to go down 1-for-1 trade, 2-for-1 trade. The Vax coming out from Tan, so this will force One Lad, 3 Lasses away from the zone, away from Plat. Tufa going in with that Vac as well to just kind of disorientate the members. Nice direct on the jump as well. And Tufa Attack, kind of reminiscent of last game, a little bit differently, but they're able to just push up and start the spawn camp and put up a lot of pressure here.
And the lockout begins. However, two members on each side go down. It's now up to Tufa, and I think that's Enamel on the pencil here. Tufa's already popping a bubble to contest the bubble that was deployed by the other blaster, and the rest of Tufa Attack are moving in. They're halfway through their points. Tan has already popped a vac to start this lockout. It's taking up a lot of damage, but they do get shut down by Atlas. One Lad 3 Last is now deploy the chumps here. Do they realize that the vac is on the attack? They are able to get rid of the blaster, but the zone has been flipped.
Yeah, someone has been flipped. Atlas does have that Reciter at the ready, so kind of counter whatever Tooth Attack wants to throw at them at the moment, but no Reef Slider is gonna be there for you. Tooth Attack just waiting, biding their time. Spotlight going straight for the backlines, able to get them down, though a couple trades going out back and forth, but One Lad 3 Last, they're holding on here. They're getting these picks, they're getting these trades that working out really well in their favor, actually able to hold on to the zone, even though they do go members down. So One Lad 3 Last, they're fighting really, really well here. They're doing really great at getting trades, and so far, it's working out for them really well, as once again, they're gonna go 3 members down on Tooth Attack, and hold on, One Lad 3 Last, they're fighting really, really well here.
So now we're seeing a little bit of pushback now from Tooth Attack, as they're trying to get this lockout ended here. One Lad 3 Last, are almost out of their penalty, but Tan has brought out the vac. Tufa is now moving in. The bubbles have been diagrammed here, and this vac will put the zone almost into neutral, but One Lad 3 Last are still counting down. They're going to be approaching the 30 threshold very soon, but Tooth Attack, they're still getting this paint off. They've got the sprinkler in the very high spot that all pencils strive for, and now Tooth Attack is starting to stabilize at elbow, trying to at least get their way in. They are able to get rid of Atlas, as Spotlight and Tufa are taking them down one by one. We're also seeing them take out the blaster here. The bow is in a bit of a pickle, but they are able to bring out the chumps. Now, I think it's just a moment, it's just really just One Lad 3 Last need to find their way forward.
I mean, that's gonna be kind of hard with both Spotlight and Tufa just pushing in here, just causing a lot of mayhem with that bubble as well, giving that a bit of sustain. But a flank from One Lad 3 Last is gonna get the bubble in the zone. The vac, however, is gonna say, hey, you cannot paint the zone. There's this shot as well to kind of solidify that inability to push for them. Ivy's gonna get one as kind of a consolation prize, as Tufa Attack kind of surviving a scare, I will say, from One Lad 3 Last. They're able to hold on, get 2 really, really good lockouts there, and kind of win the set in a really dominant fashion.
I would put it that way. Even still, a very solid kind of resistance coming from One Lad 3 Last, as they had a very solid hold. They got all the way halfway through their points here, and then I think that's when that second retaliation, that second strike from Tufa Attack happened.
Yeah, and I think Tufa Attack kind of realized, okay, we have to be more aware of flanks, have to be more aware of us trading, because a lot during that second half of the game, there were a lot less trades in favor, or a lot less trades and more kills in favor of Tufa Attack, which kind of put the nail in the coffin for One Lad 3 Last here. So I think that's just kind of a little adjustment that happened, where Tufa Attack did attack more in pairs, a lot more at the end of the game, where even if 2 people were firing at one person, it's a lot easier for them to get the kill. Like at the very end, Ivory did get a pick here, but at the very end of the game, so not a whole lot was able to be changed. So I think Tufa Attack, they did a really great job of team fighting. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna question it. Of team fighting and just kind of comboing off of each other to get that game win.
Yeah, I mean, like, when you have weapons, like, the gals can pair up really well together, the blaster pairs up with any of the gals, and the pencil can kind of support them at a range here. And then once they have, like, this kind of effort, like this kind of seamless amount of synergy between all of their members, they're able to just dive in effectively, take picks, and even if one goes down, they can confirm trades, which is like when you're in the lead by like 20 points, you don't really have a lot to lose in that situation. As long as you can confirm trades, that's pretty much all you need. So Tufa Attack going and locking the position in winners bracket round 2, and One Lad 3 Last are dropping down unfortunately to losers brackets. Is a little bit more of a hill to climb, but that will be round 1.
I mean, yeah, that is gonna be the end of round 1, and I just want to shout out, One Lad 3 Last to kind of learn from game number 1. I will say they didn't go down almost immediately off the rip, which kind of was a death sentence for them in that first game, and they held their own here. So we might see them make a run in losers bracket. I don't know, but like you said, Tufa Attack just easily making their way into winners bracket round 2.
And speaking of winners bracket round 2, we're set to see seed 1 Peru next, but they're going up against whoever wins between Flame Sion and Sendo Q Weezer. So excited to see where that leads us, because we're like the match that we're waiting on is in game 2 may go to a game 3 since it's seed 8 versus seed 9. Interested to see what happens in round 2 then.
Yeah, I expect either one of these teams to be a little bit of a challenge for the number 1 seed, but of course the number 1 seed is number 1 for a reason. I think they're going to, while be challenged, I don't expect them to fall this early on. I am willing to be surprised.
I'm also willing to be surprised. My mind is open and my ears are attentive. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back with more Paddling Pool 368.
Welcome back, everybody, to your early weekly Wednesday tournament paddling pool number 368. We've been doing this for a while, huh? I am Topic, joined once again by Frostix. And Frostix, we have a pretty nice matchup coming up for you. We have our number 2 seed, Poker, versus our number 7 seed, Carvage. Is that how you pronounce it?
Caravage. I'm not entirely sure. But see, 2 and 7 are going up in winners bracket round 2.3. We're starting things off on Hagglefish zones here. Nicknames oh plenty. It's John's platoon map. It's just
Yeah, you're not wrong. Like this map is like milk toast. It is like it's not bad, but like if I talk to somebody and this is their favorite map mode, I'd be like, that's an opinion. You can have an opinion. Is it that's it. It's just your opinion. I will not judge you outwardly. But yeah, this map, I think it is very good as a starter. It's definitely the final destination of Splatoon 3. It is a very, like, you kind of know what the enemy wants to do because there's not a ton of cover to work with. A lot of weapon classes can work really well here. So, in one word, it is very neutral. That's the best way I could put it.
definitely so. As we now go into the fray of battle, what's Poker bringing to the table? Arrow spray. And what's Caravage bringing to the table?
Bamboo.
Bamboo.
You know, I I I somehow, some way, one of these weapons is gonna win this game. We're gonna to see how they use it. I think for the aerospace for Poker, it's just like you spam Fizzy, you spam Reef, and you just cause a fight. And almost immediately, though, two members are gonna go down for Caravage, looking for even more as the bucket is gonna get a nice pick there. They're gonna go down, but not before getting some damage off and a trade off as well. So Poker, they're starting off with a very aggressive front, and I think what's gonna help them out is that the range disparity, because the pen outranges everybody. So just keeping your pen safe is the biggest help there, but unfortunately for them, Caravage has a much more in-your-face comp, and I think if they can get in, which is they're trying to do right now, they kind of just win the game.
That's a big, heavy emphasis on that if, because Poker has a deadly slider ready to be deployed at any moment's notice. And already that Gal is going down here. The Bucket's trying to hold down the line. They're almost at strikes, which could already just turn the tide of the battle. We're seeing the brush on Caravage go for the flank. They're being noticed by the Bucket, who is trying to at least catch them out. But now the rest of Caravage is going to move off of that distraction and will immediately flip the zone. Some Soda will be deployed by the Zap. We're seeing two members go down, and here comes the slider to immediately flip that like a pancake, man.
I mean, yeah, also the slider did barely manage to get the bamboo on this side of Caravage as well, so a little bit of a special power-up as is going to go a very long way. Now it's time for Poker to kind of get a lockout scenario happening here, but you gotta be a little bit careful here because the brush will distract you. They will use those chumps to force a fight. They will use that whale as well, as they're going to do right here. Slider's coming in on that left-hand side. They're going to get one member down, but they're going to leave the zone unattended for a moment, but not before they're able to get back into it, forcing the bamboo away, and with a couple of help of their team members, it's not going to matter a whole lot. Team members are going to go down as they're still going to keep on scoring. The 52 is going to go in. They're going to go down as well. So Poker, great job of just kind of stabilizing, not letting the brush or the bamboo or the chumps disorient them. As you see, strikes can come out as well, getting a pig, and this might be all she wrote. No one's going to be there to affect the zone in time, even though they did get two down. So Poker, despite a little bit of a stumble there in the mid game, they're able to bounce back and win pretty decisively at the end there.
Decisively indeed here. I think you kind of just like said that like straight up. Poker is bringing a very like forward heavy in your face comp here that just demands so much attention here. Even when you see Caravage bring out these like weapons that could be a little bit tricky to deal with, like the bamboo, like the Gal, especially the brush here. Poker just kind of has it all locked down. They have the heart of the cards on their side and are just able to just clean things up. Even if some things can spill and go a little bit awry, they just have to paint for it between Gal, between Bucket, between Pencil, and especially I think that Arrow Spray. They're really proactive with that slider here, not only using it to flip it, also to just press the advantage here. And I think I just saw like a double there over in left street here. Very proactive slider. Clam Blitz on Brine Water. Clam Blitz on Brine Water is game 2.
I don't think I've seen this one before. Like genuinely, as a commentator, I don't think I've seen this like ever. So
I I think I've seen this like only like a couple times before. It's a very rare thing to show up.
yeah, because I isn't the basket like really close to like mid. I'm pretty sure. Like it's not that far on. It's not that far up towards the spawn of the enemy. So I would expect if breakdown for poker keeps that reef slider, they're just gonna reef slide up the spawn ramp and just make absolute mayhem in the back while the
Yeah,
rest of the team scores.
I can see that. Just like keeping that slider not like always good for just immediately starting a push here. You threaten the threat, like you present the threat of the slider, and then you get the rest of the team to start scoring, and then you can just start painting again. Send another slider. Send your gal with them. Send the zap with them. Who knows? Like I think really just Caravage needs to find a way to just keep these paint heavy threats. Like either like I'm not sure if you can find a way to outpaint them here. You like outpainting them would be an option, but also maybe just find a way to just dispatch those paint heavy weapons really quickly. What is in store for us for game two? Match point is on the line.
I mean, we're gonna see poker. I'm excited to see what they bring out. Switching over to try. Oh, what? Okay. I mean, E-Leader, it does make sense here. You can kind of hit almost anything from your side. Going to Tri-Slosher and Crab, it makes sense. Crab, very good on this map. Tri-Slosher can take advantage of those ledges and just get a couple sloshes up, possibly get a surprise pick as well. So, honestly, I like those changes. I think they work out. They are a bit... they are really, really good at fighting as well. As you see, two members down almost immediately in poker, looking to push their advantage really quickly here.
Yeah, exactly. Like getting a pick onto the brush first is a start, and then immediately we're seeing the crab being popped here. The slider is the aerospray is trying to make work of this power clam here, and that the brush will go down to the tri slosher. I think Tri is just really good at dealing with very fast frontline weapons. They get a double right then and there as a wipeout happens, not for poker though, but for Caravage, as now Kenshin will pop a power clam, and Spore will come in with 4 more clams to set the score at 68 here. Breakdown does have a slider ready to go, and that can clear out the basket area in seconds, and here it comes. Kenshin, you're not running away from that. You're getting run over.
I mean, yeah, maybe Caravage overstayed the welcome just a little bit longer than they would have liked. Because as you see, poker, they got 3 members down. They're in mid. They're going to get clams as well. So they're going to push up really, really fast here. They're going to have slider as well, plus Kraken. So they have a lot of entry tools to fight their way in. Their Spore going to go down. So that's no distraction for Caravage at the ready here. So for poker, if you just like wait for the right opportunity, you could possibly get in, but maybe a little bit too long for waiting, as Caravage, once again, getting 2 members down, plus another power clam in the basket, but no follow-up as well. So that is a little bit risky, because now he just gave poker a free power clam to work with here. They're gonna have 2 powers to work with, so they have a lot of points on the board as at the ready.
That being said, though, it looked like Caravage was more so looking to just burn through Poker's resources. They have no specials, and this power clam is being just like really far into their own spawn. Caravage has a lot of space ready to go, and they've already built another power clam. They're really going for a more brawl-heavy approach. Even if they go down, they're going to come back with more. They already take down the bucket. The slider's going to be popped by Breakdown. They're at half health, and Kenshin's moving in. Spore's going down here. That power clam is fading, but it's going to be picked up by Kenshin. I hear a Kraken being popped by Meg Griffin, moving into mid, already trying to get rid of Xerneas here, and now we're seeing the Gal move in as well. That power clam is deep within the pit, and it's up to the Gal to pick it up. This push is still looking to be on schedule, but it's been delayed by just a little bit. A power clam has been also picked up by Pokers. That 2?
Wait,
what are they doing? They're jumping!
No. Oh,
They're jumping! 1, and boom!
There's 2.
A second power clam has hit the basket. 60 points. They will take the lead immediately.
I mean, they are, but look at this. Caravage, 3 power clams, plus chums, plus hammer. They have everything to work with. There's 1, there's 2. They're at 14 million. Just Spore is remaining 1 power clam or 1 pity clam away from the game, and they will not get. No, they are. Never mind. The zap was there. The zap got it in, and talk about a reversal of fate. I guess you can say Caravage, they called poker's bluff, because they was death by 1,000 cuts. They kept scoring. They kept, like you said, wasting poker's resources. They kept, raising and raising and raising the pot. And unfortunately for poker, they just had to fold, and it worked out really well for Caravage.
Yeah, Karavit just simply having the pocket aces and deciding to go all in right then and there. Some very, very well calculated gambles. They risk going 2 power clams in, only for them to respond with 3. And you know, 3 is in fact bigger than 2, and at that point you were in the single digits, and they cleaned up that poker table. Clean and sweet. We're going to a game 3.
I mean, yeah, it's kind of unexpected from that first game that Carriage was able to bring it back, and now here we are, game number 3. Like you said, we're gonna go to Rainmaker Undertow, which is gonna be very interesting. I think for poker, the biggest thing in my mind is do you keep the leader or you go back to pen? Because I think leader did somewhat slow you down because it's a lot slower of an option than pen. While pen, you do have that cooler, so you don't have to not waste, you don't have to allocate it to another person. So you have both your backliner and plus cooler on one weapon, plus it's Rainmaker. So I could realistically see them going back to pen. I don't really see Tri-Slosher being used unless you get underneath the crates really fast and really effectively. But enough of the speculation. We're going straight into game number 3, going back to pen, going back to what we saw from game number 1 for poker from the other side of Cabbage, going with double whale. So they went over to the the vanilla bow with double whale. So we're gonna see how that works out for them.
Yeah, the vanilla bamboo will be brought out from Kenshin. That bubble will immediately be popped by poker. We're trying to see the bucket as well as the gal moving in, getting rid of the bamboo. Meanwhile, we're seeing Karavich trying to strike on their own with the gal and the brush, trying to take down the members of poker here. Breakdown and will pop the slider, getting rid of Spore as this orange brick road has been painted. And will they get this first checkpoint here? We're seeing a little bit of resistance from Kenshin as well as Xerneas, but the gal almost making it to the checkpoint before getting popped.
I mean, yeah, saving the checkpoint is going to be very, very big here. Plus, the 52 just going in, getting a double, possibly making one jump out as well. So that's a delayed wipeout for poker here. You see Meg Griffin at the top of your screens getting harassed by the brush. They're going to go down, but the left path is clear. The red carpet is going to be rolled out. The reside is not going to be there. It's just breakdown. They're going to go down as well. It's Meg Griffin is the last one, plus that cooler for Cabbage. They're just going to keep running and running towards that checkpoint. They're going to get stopped and forced to back up for just a second. Just hold on. They're gonna go down, but they're gonna be back fast with that cooler. So Caravage turning around really quickly, and they're still in it though.
Wait, yeah, they sent the brush or the zap on a flank. They were able to neutralize some of the members of poker, but now we're seeing a little bit more stabilization. They have strikes ready to go here. First, they'll have to find a way to take control of mid here, and they're already a little bit of a disadvantage with the gal going down, and Spores is already on a flank being hit by the scoreboard here. They're just trying to trip them up as the Rainmaker has now reset. Poker has 2 specials ready to go, but Caravage is immediately poised to go.
Actually, no, never mind. They have 3 whales, so that's just a lot of chip damage on the board. But Breakdown trying to go and stop that Rainmaker, at least pushing it back a little bit further and further, making sure that they can't get any more points on the board, that they can't threaten to extend that lead anymore. But you see the Rainmaker just chilling in that corner. They don't really have to push out too far until they're going to be forced to by the whale in the 52 from poker, able to get one down, though there's going to be a trade on either side. So it feels like Caravage is doing a really great job of getting these trades out. They're not kind of folding like they did in that first game. They're kind of restabilizing really well. They're not letting the reef slider plus bucket plus 52 combo kind of overwhelm them. Doing a really great job with that, and so far it's working out really, really well for them. And also they've just been popping these whales the second they have them, and it's working out really well for them.
Yeah, the killer whale sees all, and when it locks onto you, you need to make an effort to get out of there. And speaking of getting out of there, we're seeing poker respond with these tri-strikes. The Rainmaker has once again reset. But if anything, as long as Caravage is just holding a good neutral position, things could work out for them. Breakdown's trying to move in with the slider. They are able to get rid of the zap here. They're now trying to find their way forward as poker will be holding the Rainmaker. Spore has a set of whales waiting to go. They will be firing on the Rainmaker. They are able to get rid of the gal as well as the Aerospray. But Meg Griffin is still alive, and they're on a 2v1 situation. They unfortunately will be going down to the gal. It's only the bucket left, and I have no idea where they went, which means Caravage will be allowed to just take mid for themselves once again.
Yeah, just taking mid. Again, they don't really have to force any fights here because think about it, poker, they still have to break through their checkpoint, so they have time to work with. But the get flank from the 52 is going to cause a lot of damage on the Rainmaker, staying alive for a little bit longer, but they're going to go down instead. So even though it will look like a really good flank turned out to be a 3 down for poker, and Caravage is back in business. Just keep up the pressure, making sure that poker cannot get all the resources together here. And once again, they're gonna go 2 members down, 3 down. The Rick side is gonna be a bit too late. A couple more points on the board, 12 to 62, a 50-point deficit. Call them the Atlanta Hawks with how down bad they are right now. And Caravage, it just has to hold on. They don't really have to stick their necks out too far. But if you're poker, you gotta force a good fight in soon. And so far, it's not looking that way.
Yeah, exactly. Caravage looking to be the New York Knicks right now and looking to defeat Poker right here and then. There's 3 members down on Poker. It's only the Gal who's trying to rush to get this bubble pop, but between the Zap and, well, actually no one's trying to pop it as of yet. And if anything, Poker has a long way to go. They need to clear mid. They need to practically get this knockout in potentially overtime. Caravage is just holding down mid with an iron grip. Already the pencil's going down here. Breakdown does have a slider and a lot is riding on the potential usage of that. This bubble is still in neutral, but the slider comes out. It's still not popped here. A set of whales come out from the Gal. 2 members are now down on Caravage, and Easy on Poker will be picking up the Rainmaker. The last-ditch effort begins now. Poker needs to get this in overtime.
I mean, yeah, but I guess a little bit thankfully they didn't get the checkpoint, so they have time to work with. But I don't know if it's going to last that long as they're going to surround the Rainmaker. The Zap looking to get the pick. Rainmaker still alive, but not for long. And Caravage, they did just enough. They called Poker's bluff. They said, hey, you don't have anything in your hand. And they cashed them all out. They went all in, and it worked out in their favor. They won. And unfortunately for Poker, the house always wins.
The house, his name is Caravage, dropping our second seed down into loser's bracket here. Very, very amazing upsets from Caravage and a very, very astounding set, all in all. And man, like, it was already a surprise turnaround in game 2, but I think this game 3, it was a really, really solid dominant state from Caravage.
Yeah, and I think they kind of went all in on the chip damage with triple whale, and I think that really helped because, like you pointed out earlier in this game, you have to move once those whales are locked in you, and with multiple of them, plus 52, plus the bombs from the brush, plus the bamboo shooting at you as well. Just a lot that you have to basically play hopscotch with if you want to stay alive. And unfortunately for Poker, they just kept getting picked off by like a little whale chip damage here and there. And unfortunately, they just weren't quite able to break past that. And like you see at the very end right here, the 52 Easy trying to stay alive for as long as possible. They were able to stay alive, but they just were back to a corner, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned chip damage being really important here, and it's just the whales are kind of like a key point in that. They're just able to whittle down enemy health bars here for things like the bamboo, but I think also just the brush itself is just able to move in with the whales from its teammates, and also the whales that the whales that the brush itself can use. And then once those enemy health bars are just whittled down here, you can just kind of pick them off. They're just slim pickings, and then you move forward here. They didn't even need to go for the knockout. Once they got to that 12 here, that was pretty much just it.
Yeah, like you've been saying, it's a really, really good game from, or good 2 games from Caravage. I think that first game was them kind of getting off a little bit of rust from them. But hey, they learned, they got through, and they are moving on to semis, which is that's a big thing. Getting an upset too, you'll take that any day of the week,
Exactly.
especially Wednesday.
Yeah, on a very little rainy Wednesday, they're able to strike down seed 2 and now potentially strike down seed 3. They're going up against Tufa Attack in winner's bracket. Semis, we're still waiting in terms of the upper bracket, the match between Taupe Propaganda and Epistar to go up against C1 Peru. We may dip down into loser's bracket, but until then, don't go anywhere. Paddling Pool 368 will be back in a bit. Don't know if it's a little bit.
A while.
Okay, a bit has happened, and we are back with Paddling Pool 368. For those just joining, I'm Frostix, and I'm joined by Topic, and we are in semifinals. We are here with our seed 1 Peru versus our seed 4 Topi Tope Propaganda.
I mean, Peru seed one projected to win the game, projected to win the entire tournament. But we're gonna start on something I generally have not seen in comp. Zones Lemuria. You know
Yeah,
the, what was it? Salt Spray Rig died in 2017. Lemuria
reborn in
came back 2025 or 2024. One of the
yeah,
2 years.
2024. I think it was
Welcome back,
2023.
Salt Spray Rig.
Yeah, 2024, yeah. Welcome back,
Welcome back,
Salt
Salt
Spray.
Spray.
I won't lie, I remember seeing the Maria zones be brought out, maybe like like a paddling pool from last year. There was like it was like a team with like JJ. It was like back when JJ was in like the team Go. They did bring out Lemuria zones, and that was a match. I'll tell you right then and there. Let's see what Peru and Topi Tope Propaganda. Whoa, 3 of the people within Topi Tope Propaganda are just named Topi Tope 1 through 3.
Well, one, 3, and 4.
1,
Topi
3, and
Tope
4.
2 is not there, but yeah, the propaganda is well and alive, and we're bringing out another brush. If you hear last set, there was a brush that really did pop off and win last time. From the other side, kind of more normal weapons other than the junior, which is not seen a lot, but it is zone, so it does make sense.
Now this gal was just hiding in mid for a hot minute. Meanwhile, the gal on Topi Tope Propaganda is going down. We're seeing Chivacola, the gal on Peru, trying to face off against the Blaster, but unfortunately they're going down. Bonk is moving in with a hammer, which will dispatch of the pencil. It's a little bit of divided attention, though, as Topi Tope Propaganda is trying to clean up mid, and they will retake that zone and will start counting down. They're really poised to take the lead soon, especially with this splashdown that Steam has here. They're already getting rid of Chivacola, and 2 members are down on Peru.
I mean, yeah, so far Peru just has to stay back a little bit, try to build up that crab, build up that whale. That's gonna pop one from Topi Tope Propaganda. Is gonna get one. It's gonna get 2. Actually, the propaganda has been spreading, and so far it's working out really well for Topi Tope. And you're gonna see Peru trying to come back this with that whale, with that cooler as well, trying to force a fight. But they have splashdown and bubble at the ready, so be a little bit careful prematurely pushing in. As Topi Tope, they're just holding on. They're keeping up the picks as well. The hammer got canceled down. The crab's gonna be popped. A little bit of waves from the zone here is gonna run out before they're able to capture it. The pen trying to pop cooler as well, kind of force a fight here in mid. The splashdown though is gonna recapture that zone, and Topi Tope Propaganda getting down to 12 points remaining. That's a really nice lead there.
This lead could be changed at any moment's notice. We still have 3 minutes left in the game, and 3 members on Topi Tope just went down. As we're now starting to see the members of Peru trying to push forward. Sam is probably already farming for a crab, as I have seen also often with Sam and their splash. Unfortunately, Chivacola going down. Same thing with Bonk, as the members of Topi Tope Propaganda are storming the bridge. All 4 of them are on the bridge, but they're being met with some response from Sam's crab, but now they're out of it, and they are immediately fleeing the scene as this bubble is moving thanks to that one moving platform. I want to say that's tech, but I feel like that's also just a given thanks to the map's geology.
I mean, yeah, but Boggs gonna say, hey, I'm gonna just ignore that pub. We're going straight for the enemy zone. Topi Top 4 is gonna go down there, and Peru getting a nice 3 down, forcing Topi Top number 1 to jump away. Now a lockout for Peru itself here. They have a hammer at the ready. They're gonna have a crab as well, so they can kind of counteract whatever Topi Top really wants to do here, because the only real way to deal with that crab is gonna be that pen, which has their attention already taken care of here. Topi Bong with the hammer is gonna get one number down the trade. 2v2 on either side. Sam popping that crab once again to keep attention on themselves here, giving Peru enough time to recapture that zone here and keep the points rolling as they're going to get down to 19 though. Unfortunately, they're going to go 2 members down the flank from Topi Top 4 and then get the last one, and that will be Topi Top Propaganda getting back into the zone and putting a pretty good penalty onto Peru.
Exactly. They were so close to getting close to the 12, but they get stopped at 19, and Peru is being forced now to retreat back to the confines of their own spawn as Tokyo Propaganda are just posted up on the forward zone here. Already we're seeing a hammer being bought out from Bonk, getting rid of Recine, and is now charging forward towards the second zone, potentially to get rid of the pencil, as they always like to target the pencil. Ooh. That will be going down in a trade as the rest of Peru are barreling forward. Sam is out of their crab. We see some whales being brought up by Mirage, but meanwhile, we're seeing the Gal get rid of Bonk here. They're on the flank, but they get caught out by Sam. They do take Mirage down with them at least, but Peru is right back in control. They're getting a little bit of resistance from Recine as well as the pencil, but right now it's in neutral.
Yeah, trying a neutral to Propaganda, looking to once again try to get back in the zone. They have to be a little bit wary of that top side, because you've seen Bonk, you see Mirage is kind of flanking from there as well. There it is, Bonk gonna get one, looking for even more, causing a big distraction before going down themselves. Sam going up with that crab almost at the ready as well, looking to kind of force a fight as well, getting one of them out there, but no, the blasters are gonna get one and escape with their life and the splashing at the ready, so they can kind of counteract that top side really well here. One's gonna go down for Peru, no backline for them, as Topi Top number 3 just popping off, hitting a base, getting 3 members down, plus the splashing as well. 30 seconds remain on the clock, and that might be all she wrote. Peru has one more opportunity really to get back in the zone and get control of it and kind of lock out the Propaganda. Once again though, the whales gonna make it a little bit more difficult for you, as Topi Top number 3 is gonna go win, causing a lot of distraction towards themselves, staying alive and jumping out as well somehow, some way. But you see the crab, they're gonna pop the crab, looking to just cause some paint on the zone here. A lot of fighting. Bonk just swinging for their lives. They're gonna get the zone, but 2 members down. This may be all she wrote. Topi Top number 4 going a trade, no, getting a pick onto Sam, and that is going to do it. Topi Top Propaganda holding on and winning against our number 1 seed Peru in a very back and forth game number 1.
Peru definitely tried to really push that overtime. It wanted to ensure that they could have at least a little bit more time on the clock to work with here, but then paint was just way too far established here, when I think a lot of the overtime paint was up in the fate of one brush here. Unfortunately, that can't output as much paint as, say, the weapons like Pencil, like Junior, like Gal here. And then when you already have one zone completely in blue, that green, that yellow, that yellowish green, that one thing that Steve Harvey was wearing on last night's Family Feud will not suffice.
Okay, I just want to say that suit was awful last night. Just it was it was disgusting. But yeah, like you said, it was just a lot. It was just a lot of Peru trying to get back in the zone, especially at the very end here. You're gonna see Bong with that hammer, able to at least cause get a trade out of it, which is not ideal, as you kind of want to keep as many members up alive as possible here. And that kind of just allowed Topi Top number 3 to just get in the backlines, which they did a fair bit during the entire game. Was get in the backlines, cause a distraction, cause a couple picks going down, and that kind of let the rest of the teams kind of focus on the zone, which kind of gave them that little bit of space, a little bit of leeway they needed to win the game. But we're going to see if they're able to continue this as we go to game number 2, Clan Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy.
Now, a little bit of return to form here. We're going to I think the second most played mode on Inkblot, of course the first being probably Tower, but I think I'm really interested to see like what Peru can bring, because Brush is obviously really good on clams. It's good for sweeping up clams. It's good for starting pushes. It's good for just weaving in and out of the basket area and mid and collecting more clams here. Its AoE is just enough to be able to camp under ledges. A lot could be riding on Bonk here.
Yeah, but I think if you're Tobito Propaganda, you're gonna kind of be a lot more cautious of where Bonk is, especially after that game number one where you saw them get flanks off very successfully, I might add. They got one, they got two, and they kind of allowed the rest of the team to follow up on for that so they can fight a 4v2 or a 4v3 kind of win that. But we're gonna see how Peru responds to going down 1-0. We're gonna see what they bring out going over to the Carbon. No other changes from them. From the inside of Tokyo Propaganda, no changes, I believe, as well. So they're sticking with what they like.
Yeah, I think we're losing a little bit of mobility here, but I think there's still the same amount of aggression here, just in a different, stealthier form now that Bonk is on Carbon. They're immediately trying to claim left stack as theirs. Meanwhile, we're seeing the Gal on Topito Propaganda immediately taking right stack, but they are able to trade off the Gals. Two members now are down on Topito, but they do have a power clam immediately built. Meanwhile, Peru has the space in spades, but maybe not for long. They do appear to have mid, but I'm not sure if they'll be able to hold it for long.
I mean, they popped the crab, so they are able to hold it a lot longer than you may think, as they're going to throw a ton of clams on the plat of Topito Propaganda, looking to grab a pity clam. Mirage has 5, going to get the power clam and score, get a couple more members down on Topito Propaganda here, and they're going to get a couple more clams, and maybe not the largest push, but hey, getting on the board is good here, getting it early. Sam looking to get it in. They're going to force City jump out, and that will be the end of that first push, but I kind of credit Peru. They didn't really lose a lot of space. They still have mid in their favor, but you see it. Topito number 3 is sitting on that right hand side looking for a flank opportunity here, just trying to kind of collapse on the rest of the team as they're going to jump into the basket. There it is. They're going to get the flank off. A second clam has hit the basket. Probably. No. Close. They bonked the glass there, and that will be the end of the push. But Peru, like we were saying a little bit earlier, they still have a ton of space to work with.
Yes, they do try to set up for that third, but unfortunately that power clam is hitting the backboard and will not be scoring. But even still, that's a really strong push, equalizing, like just taking the lead, setting it at 60. But right now, Peru has 2 power clams and a crab being deployed by Sam, and they're already trying to force their way forward. Unfortunately, both Sam as well as the Gal are going. Or not, is that Sam? Yeah, Sam is actually alive, but the Mirage goes down, the Gal goes down, and already Topito Propaganda is moving into mid. The splashdown is ready on Recine. There's a bubble ready on the junior here. They're just trying to find their way forward, but Peru is immediately responding with more firepower. The Zuka comes out here, almost getting rid of Recine, and Peru is deadly close to moving forward. There is a bubble in their way. There's a splashdown in their way here. They definitely need to mobilize lest they suffer 2 members down like they are now, and I think they're just trying to stabilize their positions, but positions are starting to become compromised as Topito Propaganda are moving in, occupying plat, but they are defending plat like their lives depend on it, going 3 members down on Topito Propaganda. That's a wipe. They need to now get all their clams into one person's pockets if they want to retake this lead topic.
Yeah, they're trying to use, saw them trying to throw it to the 52 there, but unfortunately they are going to go down. The ball is going to fall, so that is going to put a little bit of a hamper in Peru's plans here, as now they're going to have to waste a little bit more time getting back up to plat, and that gives Topito Propaganda time to just restabilize themselves and not lose too much, though. They're going to go 2 members down, so that might be wrong, as 3 members are going to go down. That's going to be a score. Topito number 3 able to get 1, able to get 2, not quite able to get the third, but they're still in the lead. The bubble is going to at least play a little bit of defense here, forcing them to go in the bubble before going down, as they're going to actually get the lead here, and that will be Peru still on plat here. Mirage kind of sitting pretty at this point, just putting up a lot of pressure, giving Sam the opportunity to build up a power clam, so even though they won't be able to score it right now, they have the capabilities of doing it at a later time.
That being said, that Sam's decision to hold the power clam here has a massive target over their heads, and we're already seeing the Gal rushing towards left stack and there to cancel Sam's crab. And now we're seeing the Gal propped up in the backlines, and already the rest of Topito Propaganda are barreling in. They have a bubble ready to go. They pop the whales here, and here comes the jump. 1 power clam and 2 power clams have hit the basket. Now 40 points, immediately retaking the lead that was stolen from them by Peru. And we're still seeing more clams being thrown in by Topito number 4, pushing the lead to 31, and they're still alive to make it out. Is that Topito number 1 throwing more clams, setting the lead to 25 with 40 seconds on the clock now?
I mean, yeah, but you see it, Peru, they got a couple picks now. They have space, they have clams, they have a ton of capital to work with here. There's Sam with the crab, putting up a lot of pressure here, getting pressure on top number one. Not quite able to get the pick just yet, but the bubble will be popped to kind of neutralize that crab, make it less effective here, give the team time to re-stabilize themselves, get back into on their plat here. The gal for Peru is going to go down here. Top number three, forcing a fight, getting down the Mirage as well. Trading him out as well, and just a lot of fighting on the plat of Tupto Propaganda here. Bonk's gonna go up there, Sam's gonna go up there. They might be able to score here before overtime even starts. They are going to, but do they have the follow-up is the question here. They're gonna pop the crab, and they have the wall as well. Tupto number four gonna go in, they're gonna go down as well. This may be all she wrote. It's just a blaster. They're able to get one. The jumper is going to not get it. They're too short. They're an inch to the right, and if you can believe it, Topito Propaganda is up 2-0 after surviving a scare from Peru at the end there.
Unfortunately, the buzzer beater did not connect from Peru. It was an air ball, and Topito
It was
Propaganda.
Not the dagger.
It was not the dagger. That's game 2 going to Topito Propaganda. A lot of forward momentum coming their way. They have Tailwind active, and they are ready to sweep.
Yeah, and I think they're in kind of a prime position to do it, though. To do it here, they kind of fended off a couple of attempts from Peru, both in zones and in clam blitz here. And I think I gotta shout out Topito number 3 for just flanking a lot. Those flanks, especially that first one, really did a great job of keeping Peru off balance and keeping them on their toes. And it just worked out really well in their favor here. And at the very end, of the game, they just did it once again. As you see right here, the more power can stay in the basket. But at the very end of the game, Peru, they were close. They really, really were close. They had the clams, they had the special, they had the crab from Sam. It just wasn't enough. They went down at unfortunate timing. So you see the crab coming out. You see they only have one clam, but no, they had to keep getting people in to get those clams in though. And unfortunately, Bonk is a little bit to the right, because that would have scored, but it's just a little bit off, and that will be all she wrote. And now Topito Propaganda, like you said, on the verge of a sweep as we go to game number 3. Tower control on ship cargo.
Oh man, and what this could be very lethal if Topito Propaganda are able to really just like manipulate the tempo of the match in their favor. If they can just be in the right places at the right time, go for that lockout that Ship is just notorious for. If they can get that lockout, that's game 3 in the set going for them. A lot is riding on Peru. Some heavyweights now. A lot's on the line.
Yeah, we're gonna see number 1 seed dropping down to lose. This is not something you want to see if you are that number 1 seed. Going over to the V Blaster instead of the 52 here, maybe a bit more of that AoE to kind of help out Bonk and Sam. That might be very helpful here. But we're going to see almost immediately Topito number 3 getting caught out, trying to go for an aggressive push and going to go down here. Sam getting a lot of damage off on Topito number 1. They're going to go down as well. Bubble in. It's not going to matter. The junior's going to go down as well. Just Peru putting into overdrive at the start, getting a lot of picks on the board here.
Yeah, like we're already they tried to the barrel forward here, but I think they're getting a little bit punished for that here. Bonk able to take down 2, maybe even 3, and activate their flow state before going down here. Chivacola trying to get rid of Topito 3, but they're able to get rid of both the pencil and the splash, and Bonk is the only one left after the dust has settled. It's still anyone's game at the moment. The scores are both in the 90s, and members are dropping like flies.
I mean, yeah, we saw both teams got 2-3 downs, 2-3 downs, and they weren't able to push really far here, as both these teams they're very even at this moment here. They're not giving up mid in the slightest here. They're keeping it very contained. Topito Propaganda are going to go 2 members down here, possibly 3. Yes, that's going to be 3. So Peru possibly has an opportunity to finally get on the get more points on the board, get towards that first checkpoint here. They are able to get another 2 members down, so that will be a good start with Sam's crab as well. There's another 2, and now Peru just in the base of Topito Propaganda, just ravaging at this point. As you see Mirage, they're sitting pretty here. Topito number 3 is finally going to get up there before going down themselves, and Peru now starts where you have to get toward that second checkpoint and that top right side.
And a lot of that momentum is now starting to swing in Peru's favor. That being said, they don't have a lot of specials at the moment. Meanwhile, Topito Propaganda only has a bubble ready to go, but that still could be all they need if they want to prevent them from pushing it any further. They will be breaking Sam's crab here. Unfortunately, the juniors are going down as well. The rest of Peru are starting to relocate towards mid and trying to bunker up. They do have the bubble in order to stabilize, as they will be jumping right back onto that tower if they want to get going here. Sam already has a crab ready to go. Bonk has a Zuka, immediately whittling down the members of Topito Propaganda. And Sam is starting to establish a position on the top right of Topito's spawn, but they go down to a bomb, and the rest of Topito Propaganda are starting to scramble. 3 members down. It's only Mirage left, and they need to get out of there, and that they do. But now Topito Propaganda is going to be able to take a lot of mid for themselves.
Yeah, a lot of mid looking to push up in the court as well. We gotta be a little bit careful there because Bonk's gonna be there to cancel out that splash down there and stay alive by the skin of their teeth. So Topito Propaganda probably pushing up a bit too quickly as they got punished for it right away by Bonk and the Blaster as well, just making sure that they cannot get any further pressure here. 2 members down on either side. Red getting a really nice pick as well, and it's just a lot of fighting. It's like Topito Propaganda are finally gonna get a couple of these wins in their favor to possibly get some more points on the board, get towards that first checkpoint, possibly even further.
Yeah, they need to just take a lot of these small wins very slowly and very steadily here. Racine will be popping the splashdown. Chivacola is not going down just yet, and they're still alive. That being said, Topito number 4 does have a bubble ready to go, and there's 2 members down on Peru, and Sam.
Oh, it's just Sam.
Yeah, it's just Sam, and they're being closed in by the Gal, and that's the wipe here. This momentum is starting to shift in Topito's favor as they're now clearing that second checkpoint, losing the lead. They're now in the advantage state, and they're going for the knockout, but they're starting to dwindle here. The numbers are dropping here. 2 members down, now 3. It's only the junior, and they're still trying to keep this alive, but no, they're going down finally. Peru has a long way to go. They need to practically get this knockout if they want this win and if they want to keep this set alive.
I mean, yeah, if you're Topito Propaganda, your big goal is to have the Blaster or the Topito number 3 with the whales just keeping by that second checkpoint there so they can just like splash down or whale it off. You're going to see them. Peru, though, is taking a fight to them, Chiklova, in the base. Unfortunately, they're going to go down Topito number 4, and that will be a bubble shredded. But Peru, they are still in it with the help from that cooler from Mirage. So they're starting to force a fight here, going towards that top right side. Everyone's going to go over there. There's a bubble as well to keep some sustain up. They're going to go 3 minutes down. Just check with the left by the tower. They are going to go down. 20 seconds remaining for Peru. You gotta just rush the tower here. So you have to force a fight somehow, some way. Get towards that tower. 10 seconds remaining on the board. Chiklova going in. They're going to go down. Sam's there as well, alongside Bonk, looking to just touch the tower. That's all they need to do. They're going to touch the tower, but the GG splashdown is not going to do it just yet. Bonk staying alive. They're going to go down. The jumper is going to do it. And if you can believe it, the propaganda has worked and it has been spreading. Topito Propaganda has not only beaten the number 1 seed, they have swept them.
They have swept them 3-0. This is the Dagger, and they have their tickets punched to Winners Bracket Finals. And man, what a set if you can believe it here. A lot of thrilling comebacks from both ends here. It looked like Peru had a very strong footing in that first half of the match, but then Topito Propaganda, they finally found their stride here. They maybe realized the trick room was over, and they started to move with their newfound speed. And then they immediately pushed their score to 8 here, and then put Peru in a situation where they need to practically take the tower from their side of the map to the other. And that's a really tricky situation to maneuver out of.
I mean, yeah, you saw Peru. They did really well, especially at the beginning of the game. Just getting these really nice wins. They got these doubles, these triples, even these one-off kills had working out for them. But unfortunately, I think their luck just ran out a little bit. Where Topito Propaganda, they kind of got used to what they were seeing. They adapted. They kind of collapsed really well onto tower and around tower, making sure that there was no one sharking around it. And that's kind of all she wrote for Peru. So Topito Propaganda, hats off. What a set from y'all.
That they do, and they are up against a team we've seen before. They're going up against Tufa Attack in winners bracket finals, but that will be happening very, very shortly now. So we'll be back after a very brief break.
Well, everyone, we told you only take a couple minutes because we are back with our winners finals of padding pool number 368. I am once again Topic, joined by my good friend Frostix, and we have two teams we've seen before. We have Topito Propaganda, who just came off of not only beating but clean sweeping the number one seed versus Tufa Attack, another very strong contender. So Frostix, I think we're in for a good set.
That we are. We're seeing Topito Propaganda, a team very much like that is good at capitalizing off of momentum and just being very much in your face. And similarly to that, Tooth Attack, also really good at being in your face, sporting two gals, both the 52 and the 96 last time we saw them. We're opening this best of five sets on Rainmaker Museum d'Alfonsino. And, interesting situation that we have found ourselves in.
I would expect a vacuum for Tooth Attack. They ran it
Oh,
last
yeah.
time we saw them. They ran it on zones. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do run the vac again because it's again Rainmaker. And I think everyone should know that this map mode specifically, you have to. It's kind of a choke point to go up that ramp, right? It is very hard to get up there. So having something to kind of force your way through, whether it be a vac, whether it be on for Topita Propaganda, whether it be a hammer, like those are going to be very, very big at, kind of forcing your way through.
Yeah, like you'll really have to. I think forcing your way through kind of just is the is the name of the game when it comes to Rainmaker Museum here. Especially once you get past that second checkpoint, because once you get past that once you get past the first checkpoint, it's going to be a really, really steep. It's a steep hill to climb. It's a rough hill to climb to get to that knockout second checkpoint because it's a very wide open angle. You're open to just so much positions on high ground. Like it's right basically in front of the enemy spawn. A lot's going to be have to be put into. A lot has to be invested if you want to get that knockout. Really.
Yeah, and not to mention that you're at such a height disadvantage. You're at low ground, so the enemy there's gonna have, I believe, Tooth Attack had like a pencil. It was like pencil and double 52. They can just sit up there on the top right and the top left and just shoot from above, and then you just have to deal with it. So I think for either team, like you said, it's a very tough. It's a very tough trek, I will say, towards the goal there.
Yeah, I think like you just have to keep like watch of those like higher ground positions that enemies may be taking advantage of. I think if you're 2 foot attack, you need to ensure that your vac can like be that your vac is not only just like sucking up damage from the front, but also maybe from the sides here. And if you're Topito Propaganda, if you can like not just like that because like they're both running like really really proactive gals. So if those gals can get up to like really high ground positions, like if they take the spinner, then get on the grade, and then get on like the top left side, that's gonna be really powerful for them.
Yeah, and I think from last set, Top Up number 3, I believe, was the Gal player.
Hmm.
And they did a really great job kind of getting behind Peru. They did a really great job of keeping them disorganized. They did a really great job of making sure they couldn't fight all four as a team. And it worked really well. It worked really well for them. Like we saw, especially in that Clams game, from the last set, they got behind them. They got combined four power clams in off of those flanks. So I think if you're a true Fuzak, you have to be aware of that. You have to be aware of your six. You have to be aware that someone might be behind you. You have to make sure you keep your spawn painted. You got to keep your plat painted. You have to keep everything painted if you want to be sure that no one's behind you.
Yeah, like I think both of these. I think like Tooth Attack was more so proactive when it came down like to flanking. As soon as I say that, I immediately remember all the flanks that the gal did in the last set. Both gals, really. And we're now moving straight into the action. What are we gonna see from Tufa Attack first here? They're still running both of their gals and the Vanilla Blaster, and Topito Propaganda sticking with the Custom Blaster from last set.
I mean, both blasts actually make sense here. You use bubble to be more sustained on plat. You use the splash down to take plat for yourself. So it makes sense because they have a bubble with the junior. So they have those bombs to kind of pressure the tooth attack away from where they want to go. So we're gonna see a lot of fighting in mid.
Yes, a lot.
Off rip though. Trey's gonna come out actually.
Yeah, like we're already seeing 3 members down on Tufa attack. It's only 10. It's only Tan right now, and Tan's immediately jumping out, and this bubble is immediately being shredded. But now Tan, or no, that's not Tan. I think that's Zen trying to strike. They are able to get rid of not 1 but 2 and 3 members of Topito Propaganda are going down, and now with the Gal going down, that's a wipe for Tufa attack here between Tan and Enamel here. Now the rest of Tufa attack have assembled, and they are ready to go.
I mean, yeah, there's the VAG. There's the VAG, making it much easier to get through that checkpoint, but it's be a lot harder to get past it. Because, like you talked about earlier, this kind of valley that you have to enter to get towards that final checkpoint is going to be very, very hard for either team here. You see, Tufa attack. They're going to go 2 members down, but they're still going to hold this ramp with Tufa and Enamel in conjunction here. You see, they have a bubble at the race, so they get up there. It's going to be very, very easy for them. And there it is, Tufa attack. They're going to get onto Plaid. Going to be forced off, but you see, they're just keeping up this pressure of Flakum. Topito number 3 is going to try to get something, but they're not. They're going to go down, 2 down, in fact. So Tufa attack are responding really well to whatever Tufa propaganda throws at them.
Yeah, they're starting to like weather the storm that Topito Propaganda initially threw at them, but right now, Topito Propaganda are starting to mobilize and trying to get towards Tufa Attack's plat. Already they get rid of the blaster, but 2 members of Topito going down. Racine's trying to get rid of Tan. They are able to jump out in the nick of time, and that back will connect onto the Junior. That Junior cannot catch a break at the moment, and Enamel is able to save the Rainmaker from the pit of stalling and boredom. But already, Tufa Attack is trying to mount a Tufa Attack of their own. They are able to get rid of, I think, 1 of them, but the Rainmaker is going down here. A little bit of resistance now from Topito Propaganda.
I mean, yeah, it's just Tufa in the corner. They're going to take it far, far away from them and trying to get up on this ramp here. And be very, very difficult because Tufa attack is going to be there. The wall is going to help out, but you see, Tufa is going to be there to just kind of make it even more difficult for the Rainmaker to go any further here. Zima just staying alive. They know they're there. They don't want to go anywhere near that right hand side of 14-2, but they jump out, and the VAC is going to be there as well to kind of stall this out for as long as possible. Popping the VAC, getting 2 with the explosion, making it even harder for the Rainmaker to get anything going, making it harder for them to get onto plat, and they're doing a really great job. Even if they don't have a really big lead, Super Attack is doing a good job making sure that Tufa Propaganda cannot come anywhere close to getting the lead.
It's deadly close between these 2 teams, 58-49, but right now Tufa Attack are making sure they can make the most out of that 49 lead that they have established, and they're trying to also mount another push of their own, but Topito Propaganda has a splashdown, and that can clear out Plat in an instant if you're not careful, and we're already seeing Tufa trying to get rid of priority targets like the Gao, like the Blaster. Tan will be popping the VAC here to immediately negate any kind of resistance, but that bubble from the Junior will keep them alive as the rest of Tufa Attack are starting to go down.
I mean, yeah, Tufa, the titular person in question here, is going to just shark a little bit, trying to watch any flanks, forcing a member to jump out there, though the Gal's going to go down for Tufa Attack, so that's going to force them back again. But I gotta credit Tufa Attack for not giving up too much space without cause. They've been doing a really good job of giving space, but not too much. They've been backing up, but smartly. They've been making sure that anytime they do go down, it's in a good spot to where they don't really have to give up plat at all. It's working out really well for them.
Yeah, and also they're just really good at defending key checkpoint areas here. Like they make sure that they can guard ramp and they can hold mid really effectively here. Between the VAC and also just the range, that 96 and the pencil, and the chip damage from the Gal as well as the Blaster here, they're holding down spaces and locking things down. But right now, Topito Propaganda are trying to mobilize. They take down 2 on Tufa Attack here. Meanwhile, Tufa themselves, they're jumping back to plat as Topito Propaganda are moving in. Remember how I said the leads are deadly close? This can be taken right then and there. They set the lead at 42 with only 13 seconds left on the clock here. And they're still going. They push it to 30 now. Tufa Attack need to make this work in overtime, and they're already down 1 pencil here. They aren't even winning in the trains. The Gal goes down. Racine is cleaning up. Overtime is on, but it won't even matter. And in a similar vein to a lot of the matches from their last set topic, Topito Propaganda flips the momentum on its head and take game 1.
They bided their time, they waited, and they got the victory that they want. Also, at the very end, I'm gonna shout out Racine. They got a really nice triple kill with 3 directs in a row to kind of stop Tufa attack in their place. It worked out really well for them. I think for Tufa attack, they're stalling. It did work out, but once Top got in, they had a real tough time getting them out. Like we see right here, Zima, they didn't manage to make it too far. Unfortunately, got their ankles broken, so they weren't able to get the Rainmaker. But yeah, they got in. They had cooler. They just ran it down, and thankfully it worked because guess what? Tufa attack. They still were on their back foot. They were still in a spot where it was going to be very, very hard for them to get any momentum on their side again once they lost it. So shout out to Top Propaganda. It's working out really well for them, as we're going to see if they can continue this momentum. Let's go to game number 2. A bit of a different type of vibe as we go to Umami Zones.
Umami Zones is going to be game number 2. I think once again, this seems to be another lock. Like I think in a similar situation to Ship Shape from the last set of Topito Propaganda, you want to be taking like a lot of key places of interest in the map. I think in Umami's case, it's Dome, but like getting there is really important. First, because you need to practically just get through the choke, and then practically just be in the enemy team spawn. But if you can hold that, it can practically be the last thing that happens before a knockout scenario. And I think Topito Propaganda, they're very good at they're really good at just contesting space. They're good at like taking space. I think Tooth Attack are really good at holding space. So
yeah,
interesting to see how these two playstyles kind of converge. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good because I think Tooth Attack. I do gotta like go off of that. What you said, like Tooth Attack's comp, they sustain really well. They have VAC plus bubble, so they can sit in one spot. Meanwhile, I think for Topito Propaganda, they kind of force fights in a way. They force they kind of force you to interact with them, but we're going to see what they're going to decide to go with. Sticking with what they have, both teams no switches, so we're going to see, like we said, both teams trying to fight for the enemy dome as quick as possible, and for top mid as well, to see who can just take control of it and get both zones.
Yeah, and already top mid seems to be a blaster off right now, and already the Gal on Topi is going down. Meanwhile, Tufa on Tufa Attack is trying to take the initiative to potentially get some more chip damage and picks, and they are firing off onto the Junior as well as the blaster. And finally, it will be capped by Tufa Attack, but there's still a lot of pain. But Tufa is striking, able to get rid of Zimafan. Racine will pop the splashdown to not actually put that zone in orange, as Tufa Attack are stabilizing once again here, and they're starting to establish a lot more space to themselves. Once they can have a lot of this established territory here, it'll be really hard to get them out of it.
Yeah, that's a really, really great start with Spotlight getting a nice double kill as well to keep Topito Propaganda away from the zone. But you see, they have the cooler plus the bubble at the ready, so they can force a fight here if they really want to. Unfortunately, Tufa Attack's gonna go 1 down. They're gonna go 2 down, unfortunately, so that gives Topito Propaganda the opportunity here to get back in the zone. And Namo and Zima in the pencil 1v1. Namo forced to respect it and back away because of the whales. Unfortunately, they're gonna get chipped and go down as well. And Topito Propaganda, great job of just fighting back, fighting through the pressure that Tufa Attack put on them. And now their opportunity to get a lot of points on the board is here.
Yes, exactly. Especially when you push the rest of Tufa Attack in their dome area without even being on dome here. If anything, I think they're just trying to get their specials in order, because they pop the soda, they have the vac ready to go, they pop the whale, they're trying to move forward here, but there's still a lot of resistance from Topito Propaganda. The zone is now into neutral. They have one more special left, and that's the bubble from Tufa, landing it direct onto number 3, trying to go for Racine and the rest of the backline here. The Pental's going down. Racine's taking some damage. It's only Topito 4, and they're already being rushed by Tufa Attack, who are starting to claim Dome, and they're still in the lead, even if by 8 points.
I mean, hey, like you said, getting Dome is very, very big. Here's gonna be very hard to get Tufa Attack out of it because of their sustained comp. It's gonna be really, really heavy because there it is. There's the back Spotlight biding their time, looking for a pick, not able to get it just yet. They're gonna go down actually. So 3 down. What looked really good for Tufa Attack turns into kind of a really bad situation here because Topito Propaganda, they got zone without having to use any specials here. So now they can use that bubble plus splashdown to kind of counteract whatever Tufa Attack wants to throw at them, because we saw it earlier in this game. Topito number 4, they popped the bubble whenever Tans popped the vac, and it worked really well to kind of counteract that. So we're gonna see if they can do that again.
Yeah, and there it is, the bubble that is popped as soon as Tan pops the vac, but Tan's vac will be able to get rid of number 3 as the rest of Topito Propaganda are trying to stabilize. Seen has the splashdown ready to go, and that can just keep territory for Topito as long as it's popped at a really good choke point here as the lead is now being swapped by Topito. Here comes a splashdown from Seen, getting rid of Tufa, chipping away at Tan. Now Seen's working to get rid of Zen here, but they're taking the fight. They won't be winning as now Spotlight is trying to move in. They're able to get rid of number 3, but between Tan, Spotlight, and Tufa, they need to get this zone capped and fast. Already, one zone is being capped here. They're looking for the second with this back shot, and boom, there it is. The zone has been capped. 63 penalty points are on Topito Propaganda.
I mean, yeah, great job from Tufa Tech with that attack, but now can you keep Topito Propaganda away is the question that needs to be answered, because both times they've been in the situation there, they've gone 3 members down. They've given Topito the opportunity to just get into the zone without using the bubble, without using the splash on. They're gonna have to use it now. A Spotlight getting a nice pick there. Bubble's gonna be popped in top mid, getting a trade out as well, but 3 down. Once again for Tufa Attack. Tufa, the last member remaining, they're gonna go down as well, and it feels like every single time Tufa Tech has tried to play defense, they've always gone 3 members down, and has give Topito the opportunity to just get a lot of space, basically get Dome for free without a lot of contest until Tufa Tech responds. And now we're gonna see how, with the last 45 seconds, if Tufa Tech can once again not only get into zone, but get a hold that is going to last a really long time.
Yeah, especially with Topito almost away at their penalty points. The zone is put into neutral. That back shot won't be getting any value as it gets blocked out by the bubble here. And that's a wipeout for a Tufa Attack. They are in control. It's only the junior left here. There is no specials online at the moment, but Tufa Attack needs to get this hold and needs to hold this zone strong here. I think someone is already in dome here. We're seeing Zen trying to hold down the choke and hold down chair at the moment. There is a bubble ready for Topito Propaganda. This could extend their space, but now Spotlight is moving in. They are trying to find a way in, but they drop into pits here. You see the vac being brought out by Tan. It has to work in overtime. The zone is in neutral. They're still in control. Overtime is live. Topito 4 goes down here. Zone is neutral. They need to cap the right
they jump in the back lines.
They jumped in the back lines. They jumped in the back lines, Topic. And with that, Topito Propaganda is not going to allow this overtime to go on any longer as they take game 2.
I think I recall. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was Racine and Topito number 3 just in the back line of Tufa Attack, just keeping that zone neutralized and keeping that zone not flipping over to Tufa Attack. So shout out to them for just staying alive. And now Topito Propaganda on track to not only 3-0ing the number 1 seed, but also the number 3 seed as well. So that's a very, very strong performance from them. And I think what happened during that game is every time Tufa Attack they pushed in, they got to the dome area, they went 3 down, and that's kind of was kind of a death sentence for them, because every single time Topito Propaganda they did really well at just kind of collapsing on that and just taking so much space and getting dome without using specials. So I think if for Tufa Attack, if you want to reverse sweep this or at least force a game number 4, you can't go 3 down, and you can't not have your opponent not pop specials before they get into mid or get to your side, because if they don't, it's going to be a very, very quick game as we go to Clan Blitz on Scorch.
Now back onto Clan Blitz, we saw Topito Propaganda bring out some absolutely heinous moves last time we saw them on Clan Blitz here. They have probably perfected the art of the surprise double power clan jump, as we saw them do that on Inkblot like maybe twice now. So it's like, it was amazing to see them pull that out. And once again, like, we saw that I think Topito was just able to take space even in ways that like Tufa Attack wouldn't even think, because I think within overtime, I think Tufa Attack was like really more so focused on their front sides on the choke, which allows Topito Propaganda to pull off their very devious flanks and then start making a lot of impactful plays. And right now in a mode like Clan Blitz, impactful plays can matter.
I mean, yeah, we're going to see game number 3, match point for Topito Propaganda, no changes from either side. They love what they have here, and I think for Tooth Attack, it's about not going too far in and not trying to force a fight that is not winnable in your favor here. We're going to see exactly what they're going to do here in mid as both these teams looking to jockeying for position here, as a lot of plans are going to be on the side of Topto Propaganda plus that cooler as well. So you might see a fight breaking out in favor of Topto Propaganda though. But Tupatak going straight into the back. It's going to be Tufa. They're going to get one down. Unfortunately, they're going to go down themselves, but hold on. Tufa Attack turning this around really, really nicely here. But Tufa number 3, though, in the backlines once again. Oh, we might see another Power Clan jump, but no Power Clan. They're just going to be there and be a little nuisance.
Now, one thing that I have been noticing, I think across like the couple matches that I've seen, is that wherever Tan goes with the Vac, the gal on Topito goes the other way, basically just kind of like going on the other side of the road where Tan's Vac is, and then just kind of like trying to like see where what they can do in that position. And that's a really smart move coming from Topito number 3. And meanwhile, they are one clam away from a power. They do have a bubble ready to go. Meanwhile, Tufa Attack, Tan has another Vac ready to go, because you know that Tan is proactive with it. And Namel also has these sodas ready to go, but they're met with some response from Topito 3. And now Tufa Attack is trying to push their way forward here. They do have like a power clan being built on the other side, and the barrier has been broken.
Yeah, but Spotlight's in the background looking to get a pick here. They're not going to get it. They're going to go down. In fact, in Topito Propaganda, getting down to 59, possibly a couple more from Topito number 3. They are going to get down to 47 points. Racine has a few more in reserve, just opting to, play it safe a little bit here, get a lot of chip damage off and play for life, which is going to work out in their favor, as now Tufa Attack once again on their back foot. But hold on, Spotlight in the background pulling up to number 3 there. They're going to go down, unfortunately, there, but Tufa is able to follow up with that splashdown, which they did switch over from B-Blast to Custom Blast, so they're already able to get more space in front of the basket, able to get the Power Clam in tandem with the Vac as well to clear out a ton of space for Tufa to work with here. But the Clams just aren't all there for Tufa Attack. They have something to work with, not enough to get lead here.
Potentially the timer is still on, and Zen is keeping this basket alive here at 62. We're seeing Enamel trying to push forward, but now Topito Propaganda have a pretty to all of their basket area, and that basket will close at 62. Is that a buzz from Tan? Was that the pity? Oh, that's going to be really brutal from Tufa Attack here, because now that pity's going to disappear. Enamel will at least be able to build another power clam at least to make up for that here. They aren't short on resources just yet. Now Topito Propaganda has a lot more space going for them. They fire off the whales here in an attempt to move in. Racine's moving in. They're able to get rid of Enamel. Number 3 is going down here with the gals mobilizing in mid. They're trying to get this jump in for Zimafan, but they get spotted out by Tan. And now they're able to prevent this push from even happening.
I mean, yeah, great job by Tufa Attack of just stopping that push in its tracks, forcing Topito number 3 to just back away and not go for a bit of a sneaky power clam throw in. And now for Tufa Attack, about 9 seconds to go left in this game, they have to kind of get another really great push going, because we saw Topito Propaganda, they love putting the fight to the enemy team. They're good at catching out these flanks and Spotlight, which have not been the most effective for Tufa Attack. They have been getting picks, but it's mostly been getting trades off. But once again, Tufa Attack, they are able to get up the ramp, but getting past it might be a bit of a challenge without that ink back from Tans.
Yeah, and we're now approaching 1 minute left on the clock. A Vac has already been deployed by Tan, and the rest of Tufa Attack are mobilizing here. They are able to get rid of 2 members. Now 3 members are going down on Tufa Attack. This push, unfortunately, going sideways, which means there's going to be a lot more space for Topito Propaganda to move in, and number 3 is already charging forward, signaling the rest of Topito Propaganda to move in. Zimafan will be scoring first, and here comes a second power clam courtesy of number 4. A second power clam has hit the basket, and we're still moving it as Spotlight goes down, 2 members down on each side, and Enamel, their eye in the sky, is ensuring that the basket won't claim any more victims. And now 30 seconds left on the clock here. Tufa Attack needs to get to 30 and further beyond.
You gotta force a fight. You gotta force a good fight. You have the clear, you have the vac, you're gonna have splashdown, you're gonna have a whale as well. So you can really force a fight here, but one going down is not what you want to see. A trade's gonna happen out here for Tufa attack, but the pen going to go down as well. Just these one-off picks are really putting a damper on Tufa attack's potential. But just here, Spotlight is the last member remaining here on Plat. Topito number 3, they're gonna push in. They're gonna get a pick as well. It's just Tufa and the Power Clam left. You see it there. They're just not to rush it. They're not gonna be able to get it. They have the pity as well, but Topito number 4 is gonna be there, just causing a lot of mayhem. The drops are gonna be forced here from Tufa attack. Is not going to matter. And can you believe it? Topito propaganda on a warpath, if one may say. Not only have they won winners finals, they have swept Tufa attack 3-0. They also swept the last set, the number 1 overall seed 3-0. So they are on fire.
They have gone undefeated so far within their Paddling Pool 368 run, and these games are...
They lost one game.
They lost
one game to the number 5 seed.
To Epistar? Okay. So far, they've only dropped one game, and these games are just the evidence we need to prove it here. They're just able to take space effectively here, and they're adaptable. They're able to learn what the win cons from each of these teams are here. They're able to play around the very pivotal gals and the very pivotal vac that Tan always brings to the table here. You see them being able to work around it. They have the specials that are able to kind of respond to the vac that Tufa attack brings here. And then they have these very, very strong and impactful pushes here. Always they are multi-clan pushes here to ensure that they can't be caught up to that easily.
Yeah, and I think Tufa attack, they kind of got overwhelmed at the very end there. You see that they just tried to run it down, which unfortunately just did not work. I think throughout the entire game, they continuously tried to push. They continuously tried to use both the vac mainly as their main way to get in, which just didn't work out because Topito number 3 here, as you see scoring, they were able to just get around the vac, or they were able to score, or they were able to just ignore it and kill it. So I think that kind of put a real thorn in the side of Tufa attack. So like we've been saying, Topito propaganda, they are really, really hot right now. They are looking to just end this tourney with a 3-0 winning grand finals, but they're gonna have to wait a little bit because the rest of the tourney gotta catch up to them.
Exactly here. Now they get a little bit of a break as the rest of losers brackets will be going underway. But I don't think we're going to be seeing that topic.
Yeah, I believe this is our last comm block. So, of course, we have a nice wordle. We have a nice comm block, end of our comm block. We have a couple of housekeeping things to do. So, Frostix, of course, where can people find you?
Of course, you can find me, my Blue Sky handle is below, frostix.bluesky.social. There's my twitter.com at tk_frostix, and my YouTube channel, it's just Frostix, and some interesting things are on the horizon. Topic, where can the people in Twitch chat find you?
Yeah, you can find me over at the link down at the down below, topical2.bluesky.social. You can also find me commentating for other orgs like IPL, Dapple Productions, of course, or unfortunately like Ludi Tonight, which is not a thing for
Formerly
now.
Ludi Tonight.
Yeah, RP Ludi Tonight. But yeah, that is where you can find me. But of course, that'll be it from us too. But don't go anywhere because we have 2 more amazing commentators coming up to end off this edition of Paddling Pool, and we will see if Topito propaganda can keep it up and just beat whoever makes the grand final. So with that, that's it from us. See you next week.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Paddling Pool 368. I'm Sig Dakari. Joining me on the mic is the Marvelous Mouse. We've got Tufa Attack versus Peru for our losers bracket finals. Mouse, how you feeling today?
Much better. I had to skip last week because I was feeling sick. You know.
Glad you're back. Welcome back. And we've got quite an interesting set so far. These two teams have not played each other just yet. But they did both get 3-0'd by Topitro in winner's side going into the lobby, expecting to see a couple of pens just based off these names here, like Mirage and Enamel. Very strong pen players are, around here. Looks like a double gal comp for Tufa Attack. That's pretty interesting too.
Checking a look at the key. Yeah, just looking at look. We have a special power up to extend that back, improve that back as we start out. As there's a pick going down already on the side of Peru. Tufa Attack do have the advantage, but it's very early game here. It's very early game.
And Tufa's trying to extend that advantage. It's picked off in the meantime. The decaf is able to find one more as the rest of Peru just swarms the plat, trying to pressure this vac, trying to force, I think that's Enamel, Sneep Snoop on the pen out, as well as Tufa. They're able to get the check because of it, but with the amount of space that they had to kind of give up with this push, they might just kind of be stuck here at the checkpoint unless they get a couple more picks.
And it looks like they do get a couple more picks as they do go down. It's only the pen as they're trying to push as the blaster picks them off from an unknown angle. It seems behind there, taking that flank, just trying to find a pick, finding another pick. It looks like that push is over as Tufa Attack will start to swim as the decaf is chasing them, but still gets it out of their plat.
Yep, Tufa does shut down the Rainmaker, or does shut down the person who shut down the Rainmaker, and now is just trying to clear the rest of the plat. Stam is still there, but with 4 players on Tufa Attack shutting him down, they're able to kind of progress into mid a little bit, and now they don't have any like huge specialists to work with, just that ink back to maybe let the 52 or the blaster walk forwards, in which case they do towards the plat. The decaf 2 players actually get picked off, and so does the Trizuka. And this might be a pretty easy checkpoint for Tufa Attack. If there we go, Enamel immediately gets it, and they're looking for that repop.
But there's a crab tank popped on the side and a bubble on another side as Peru are starting to push forwards. But it looks like Peru are able to defend that checkpoint.
Yeah, really solid defense for Peru so far. I mean, they still maintain that lead of 20 points. Not an easy 20 points to grab without an ink back either. And even with it, you have to just be aware of that decap constantly. Looks like Tan ended up going down on the left-hand side, though. And that's going to give kind of this big go button for Peru as long as they can find the pick onto the 52 gal. There's a trade, and they're perfectly happy with just kind of keeping things neutral, just playing slowly, letting Tufa Attack kind of walk into them because they do have that lead, and Tufa Attack need to make a play happen here to kind of take that back.
Yes, well, you have 2 specials online as they're going to pop the ink back as soon as they get it, but the blast is going down. Peru just trying to make a mad dash for that Rainmaker, getting it onto the plat, but it doesn't look like it was that bad, but as Peru were trying to push forward, but no, it's not. Tufa Attack on that push, getting picked off by the Trizuka in a pit with just under 2 minutes left.
And so far, I mean, the name of the game here for Peru has just been shutting down the 2 big playmakers for Tufa Attack. Just making sure that the blaster and the 52 gal can't really do much, because that pencil is really going to struggle to deal with the bubble, the crab tank, and the Trizuka all at the same time. And I mean, the decab is doing a great job at boxing out this ink back. I don't think we've seen a super strong one outside of when Tufa Attack actually got the checkpoint. And even with the splashdown coming through, the decab manages to trade on the Tufa, and Bonk is right there to take that space on the platform.
Yeah, no, you do not mess with a decav. They are one of the best area deniers in the game, but the numbers disadvantage as we enter that final minute as 2 go down on the side of Tufa Attack as Peru just keeping on that entourage. They can have a big pusher and extend their lead if they want.
It's entirely possible, but Tan is still able to hold a lot of the space on the plat. It looks like Sam's actually just going to stall the Rainmaker. Only 45 seconds left, so a pretty good opportunity. The back is popped, but not enough to, protect the back from the Rainmaker shot. There we go. And Sam finds another pick on the Tufa. Now with 3 players down, pretty solid stagger going. The Gal is sharking. But Peru, they're looking to kind of get aggressive, maybe try and extend their lead, take a slight risk here, but since they're cooler, it won't matter much if they go down here, as 2 players already do on the side of Peru. 20 seconds left, and the big bubbler is up. The splashdown is too, and it's going to find 1, shred that big bubbler as well, and Sam, I think, is just holding that Rainmaker for as long as humanly possible. Goes down along with Mirage, but the decap finds 1, Bonk finds the 2nd, and they need to find this pop now on Tufa attack, and Peru's just going to find that and take game 1.
Yeah, no, Peru does end up taking game 1 too for attack. Such an admirable attempt at an ending, but just not enough. Not enough.
For a lot of that game, it felt like Peru just had complete control. Outside, again, just the 1 vac push. Tufa attack really weren't able to get much going. Part of that might just be like some of the matchups they had. Another part is just maybe the comps, because Peru have a lot of like specials and just general utility that can hold down a lot of space. Look at the big bubble or the crab tank and everything. Tufa attack just don't have that, and it's very difficult for them to play on a map like Museum because of it.
Yeah, no, the comp just screamed to me like, great for holding advantage, but not getting advantage.
That's a very good way of putting it.
Oh, really?
If you win, then you win really hard, but you lose and you're kind of just locked out here. And we saw that, like, the splashdown and the killer whale weren't even able to do all that much. You had to rely on main weapon plays, and that's just not the most reliable thing in the world, and it can really bite you like it did for Tufa attack.
Yeah, no, is this BO3 or BO5? I'm trying to think.
Best of 5.
Yeah. Well, only 1 point down. We're going to TC Barnacle in time. Definitely unique. Not very well.
This is one of the maps ever. I don't think I've seen this one in tournament, actually. I'm struggling to think of where it could have been, and it's probably only a paddling pool staple.
Probably. Or I might be allowed. Is it banned on Sendo queue? Because normally you can allow. I was under the assumption Picnic did. Then. Regardless, we're going there, and do you think there'll be a comp change?
I don't think so. A lot of Peru is just very comfortable and competent on their weapons. They're going to stay the same. Tufa attack is slightly more flexible, but looks like, actually, Spotlight, I think that's Zen. Zen is switching over to the Splash-O-Matic. Really helps out in just that consistent output of a special that gets a lot of value, rather than, like, more than just the back. And it's super mobile, still really able to frag out when needed. Has the burst bomb, really solid option.
Correction, the 96 still on the field. You're thinking the 52.
You're right. I'm mixing them up. I'm not used to these double gal comps.
No, that's fair. But this might be the difference that's needed. A bit slower, crab tank and burst bombs could be exactly what they're looking for. But Peru is starting to get that first checkpoint and could always break it down in less than a minute. Pick on the decap from the splash, trying to get in the corner, getting picked off by the enemy splash, as we're already getting to that second checkpoint.
Peru are just steamrolling through Tufa attack right now. I mean, this is the top seed for a reason, and so far, I mean, Shiva and Sam and Bonk are just in the pit, just wreaking havoc. And Tufa attack, they're just only able to start dealing with them now, but they've completely turned their eyes. They're not even thinking about getting control of mid until now. And that gives Peru a ton of space here. We already see, I think that's Shiva on the left-hand side is able to take all that, and Bonk is sharking forwards too.
Yeah, we have the trouble special trying to go down, find around pick, but melee weakens, but the assist does end up killing. We're back into our unusual state, but this could easily swing in Tufa attack's favor.
And it has. It looks like they got a couple of picks, were able to stagger the whole of Peru before they got that cooler. And I mean, that gives them a pretty solid first checkpoint. They have a couple of specials to work with as well. The Crab Tank is top. And I'm very curious to see where this Ink Vac is going to go here, Mouse.
Yeah, I think they're probably on the ledge trying to defend. It's a puppet against the Crab Tank as we have a lead change. Bonk is trying to push forward. Summoning a thing, getting that triple smash down. Just not finding Bonk. Still bloodthirsty. Just trying to find that pick with the blaster. Just keeping up that on track. But the push in the tower is over, but we'll try to get it back. As we have the Mint on the side of Roach trying to push forward. As we have Tofu, Tufa, sorry. Trying to push forwards with that blaster, holding the space. Just back to that checkpoint. We could have another checkpoint broken soon if they keep up this push.
Maybe, but that third checkpoint is incredibly tough to take. I mean, you have to clear out almost all of top left for quite a while, and it looks like with the back shot, Tufa's going to try and do just that with the splashdown. Finds one, looking for that second on the Sam, not quite going to find it. The Crab Tank going huge here, just knocking everybody off of that tower. Tufa attack, they still have that lead, and they're still looking to push as they find Sam, they find Shiva, Mirage is down, and just Bonk on top left. 3 players trying to rush, and
oh my God!
all of them survive, so this is entirely possible for that third check, and maybe even a KO.
We'll have to wait and see as they start to bring in the check. Less than 20 points to go as we tick down. We have that Ink Vac coming out. I think this might be a KO. It looks like they're trying to pull the tower, but Burns trying to go as Pooper attack. And Toofer attack gets the knockout. 1-1. Whoa. Whoa.
Quite the push there. Really solid extension from Tufa attack. Again, that Ink Vac, like you said earlier, it's a really strong just continuation special. If you have a good game state, the Ink Vac can kind of just keep it going. You know, you just lock out a lot of Peru from really doing anything. I think Shiva's the only one that can kind of contest it reasonably.
Okay. Yeah, no, sorry to interrupt. I'm just saying, while the instant replay, I'm just noticing that super critical moment is when Peru just left that tower alone to go back to mid. That gave Tufa attack just enough space to start a really big push.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, continue.
Really,
I was just pointing that while the footage was on screen.
Mm-hmm. And then, I mean, this pick onto Sam as well. He was trying to just kind of zone everybody off tower, but just stood a little bit too close to that ledge, not nearly enough around the cover. And I mean, the blaster and pencil will punish you all day for that. Tufa attack really just did a fantastic job at punishing mistakes, starting at about the 4-minute mark here with that fight. It looked dodgy because everybody was turned for this fight trying to find Sam, but I mean, they were able to convert that into a full mid-hold and then a push immediately after. Excellently done for them.
Everyone asks, where's Sam? But how's Sam? We'll never know. Robo
I'm sure Sam isn't too bothered by it. Still 1-1 in loser's bracket of paddling. You know, it's pretty chill. And we're going on to a really solid Crab Tank map as well, with Splat Zones on Robo Ramen. Really good spots for both Snipe Rider and Crab Tank to kind of just set up and hold a ton of space. We were talking about stuff that holds a lot, and I think I'm leaning towards Peru's comp being just excellent here as well. What are your thoughts on it?
I don't know. Crab Tank. So I had something in my mouth. Crab Tank and Snipe Rider could definitely. Oh,
wait.
Slight change.
That's a little different. That's not a roller. Maybe in previous games, but Bonk is off a roller onto the Kraken brush. Very different, a lot more mobile. Good bit more pain output, but that Kraken is very potent, especially on these like tighter maps like Robo Ramen. Crab Tank is already out for both sides here, as I believe Sam is going to get a little bit of the shred going. Bonk is going underneath, though, trying to find one. There's Tan down. Tufa is very low as well, and Bonk is rotating. But Tufa's able to jump out in time. Zen, caught on the back foot, is still able to find that trade with Sam. But so far, somehow Tufa attack got control of the zone. But Peru are still in the lead, and they have that control back. Tufa, with that splashdown, just looking for something here on that bottom right, but doesn't seem to find much of it.
No, they do not, but it's fine, because it's really early in the game. Besides, you want to use it for something valuable? And it looks like Bonk does go down if we try to enter the new back shot, but it seemed to have hit a wall or something, so not much value there, if you noticed.
Zen is trying to get aggressive onto Sam here. Again, these crab tanks are just so strong. Tufa on the bottom left is just looking to draw attention, has 3 members of Peru just looking their way, but immediately has to jump out. Tufa attack, they're kind of recollecting themselves, have the Inkvac ready to go. With an opening pick on the Chiva too. This is going to be a massive pick and a huge fight win for Tufa attack. They're able to get that zone back, start working through that penalty, set some penalty for Peru. And it's just Mirage and Bonk left. Everybody's on the respawns, but with this crab tank set up, they're in a fantastic spot for a hold here.
How will they recover?
Looks like the crab tank and the Kraken is the way to go for them. They're close to that big bubbler as well, and Jiva's looking to just kind of paint a little bit more with Bonk. Bonk does end up getting picked off, and Tufa and Zen are just going ham in the back line around that sort of elbow check sort of thing, that choke point. And now with everybody on Tufa attack set up here, they're looking to close in on that lead.
Well, it's still a little bit away, so maybe they can pull something off, but they do have that Inkvac, but just that difference to hold the zone while the point, but we do have the Inkvac of Rishi going down. Bubble's trying to put the Kraken as well, and that's a zone flip, but a little too late.
Yeah, I mean, Tufa, Peru, they have the zone control, they won the fight, but they just don't have the lead yet. This hold, again, these holds have been really solid, well set up so far, but with the answer from Tufa attack coming in so quickly, I'm not sure if Peru will be able to get that lead back here.
Maybe, maybe not. They have the Inkvac coming out. Oh, but did you see that? That's just a case of sword versus vac. Oh my god, that sword! Just going ham! I think that was a triple! As we have the lead change.
Wow. Okay. This decap is absolutely popping off. Give them 6 actually, and a jump out for good measure. Peru, they put themselves on match point, and they're looking to go to Grands.
Oh my god! You thought it was close, and then the sword just determined the winner there.
Yeah. Sometimes that decaf can just take over games. You know, you can just call it at any point if you just randomly get a double. It's so good at finding those big explosive plays, and I mean, this is just one of the best decavs in the West, just showing how it's done.
Really? One of the best decavs in the West?
Yeah. This is Shiva from Yado Teado. This is one of the best decavs out there for my money.
Wow. The more you know, more you know.
Mm-hmm. But really solid back and forth for both these teams so far. You know, Peru able to come out on top there. Excellent holds again. Just Chiva called game there, and kind of just ended it for Peru. They've put themselves on match point going into, I believe, Clamblitz for our 4th game. On from looks like an Inkblot Art Academy, and this is another one. This is one of those maps where it's incredibly volatile. The distance between the 2 baskets is so small that you can kind of just win one fight and almost immediately start scoring afterwards if you win the fight on your plat even. And I think Tufa attack, if they want a map to come back on, this is one of the best ones for it just because of how volatile it is. Their weapons are volatile, and they can definitely like find some crazy fights, especially with I think it's Tufa on that blaster.
Yeah, no, I forget you called it short, because to me it feels like a while away. It just seems like pushes never really get that far, but maybe that's just the level I'm fighting at, and this is high level. But you've got the flanks on the side that... I'm trying to think. Yeah, because Tufa's got that blaster that can go up into bats and cause a real headache.
Mm-hmm. And just about anywhere on this map, there's so much cover and so many just little vertical angles to work around, where Blaster is super potent. The AoE is great at dealing around those corners, just dealing damage there. And the splashdown as well. I mean, you can use it just about anywhere, and those fists will just come knocking down. Around the stacks especially, you can just clear out so much of the map with a custom blaster here.
Well, we're going to match points! are the Peru? Let's see. Bonk sticking with that Kraken Rush. What do you think? Good choice, bad choice?
I think it's all right. You know, it's more usable in a mode like Clam Blitz rather than Splat Zones, where if you pop the Kraken, you're not usually able to paint the zone at the same time unless you are going full support Kraken. But it's much stronger in Clam Blitz, and I mean, we saw it work last game. The Vac, though, going to give Tufa one, almost a second. There's the second pick, and already it looks like Tufa Attack is looking to kind of settle the score here. Chiba does go down after getting picked, but in a 1v1, Sam versus Tan. And Tan's going to come out on top here with a little bit of support on the jump in from Zed.
Pushing! Yeah, they're getting a good push up, but what about the Clams? They only have 6.
A little bit of a rough economy for Tufa Attack. They did get that early hold, but nothing came from it. Now they're looking to just keep it going. A little bit of chip damage goes a long way onto Chiba. Tufa now just walking forwards with that ink back from Tan again. But the comes through as a counter with Flash Tempo. It's a trade again, and Zen's the only one left. Having to dance around the Sniper Raider laser, and the Kraken just a little bit too tall of a task for the splash. And now Peru, they can kind of flip things around and get set up on mid.
Yes, we see that they do as they're throwing a cooler. Oh no, sorry, not cooler. That was the Clam. Just setting up as they're starting to go through the side. Maybe they'll go flank on the right, but we see a jump happen, just keeping up that push. Pick from that decap, trying to put in the middle as they run away, but it's 3-3 currently on the map as the decap is trying to push forward, putting that bubble up, trying to push forward a bit more, gets a jump out to happen. And a crab and the Kraken at the same time, I think there's going to be a score.
Oh, it looks like Sam's just trying to stall out a little bit more, maybe get a couple of jumps in, but that's just going to cost the rest of Peru. Bonk ends up going down after the Kraken is done, and Tufa finds another pick onto Chiba. And with 7 Clams here on the side of, in the pocket of Enamel, and there's the 8th. We have a Power Clam, we're ready to go, the Crab Tank is setting up. They see Bonk, though, on the flank, and Bonk is already able to find one. Does trade out, but that kind of stalls out Tufa Attack here.
Currently a neutral state, but I definitely Tufa Attack can get that push if they set up properly.
Looks like Tufa is trying to get set up here with the splashdown, but Chiba's wise to it. He's able to find one. Bonk on the left-hand side. Again, we've just seen him do so much damage so far this set, and it's going to continue doing so. Just keeping Tufa Attack just at bay with the rest of the team. Sam's Crab Tank holding down that entire right side gives Chiba a chance to dive on the left. And, I mean, Tufa Attack, they haven't been able to get anything going after that opening fight.
Yeah, we don't count them out yet. We've still got 2 minutes plus a little bit of overtime. But it just seems the Kraken is just taking out any chances of a push as that bubble's starting to expire. As Peru break the barrier again. This time, extending that lead to the mid-50s.
This is a much more comfortable lead than what they had before. Just the one Power Clam is so unstable and volatile that oftentimes you just aren't comfortable with that. And sometimes that's not even considered a lead. And now with the rest of Peru just still holding with this Crab Tank, I mean, they're able to extend it down to 50, possibly more in the dying minute and a half of this game. It's entirely possible that they might not even be done. But Tufa has something to say about that. Finds 2. And with Chiba very, very low. They get picked off, and now Tufa Attack are in a bit of a tough spot. But thanks to Bonk's heroics again, they've just been able to kind of shut things down and set up a defense just in time.
That's quite a namesake, getting bonked. It works better with Carbon, but I feel like you still get bonked in the head with a brush.
Yeah, you just get bonked more, you know?
Yeah, entering that final minute, in fact, coming out, trying to make a push as we try and just set up 3 up. There is a numbers advantage, but it looks like most of the paint isn't covered. It looks like this could be a dunk. They just need to put a clam in and some more clams, but it's taking that pity across, trying to find a pick, but it looks like the pen and the Decaf are trying to push forward. Decaf trying to pick that pick as we take into the last second, 2 down on the side. We have a dunk, but can they get the clam? just tried to sneak through back, but spotted by the decaf. Tried to throw the clam in. Almost. They need one clam. Can they get it in?
Well, Tan doesn't have any, but maybe somebody else on Tufa Tech does. But there's
It's
no
just
time.
one.
Zen is too far back. And
Oh.
Peru, just by the skin of their teeth, they take it in a Game 4 win. They're ready for their rematch against Topi Tout Propaganda and Grands. They are raring to go, and with that one, I mean, they look pretty good going into this.
Oh. I bet if you're two for attack, they must be very disappointed. A single clam could have won it.
It's the nature of Clam Blitz sometimes, though, you know. Whether you're off by an inch or a mile, they don't ask how. They don't ask how. Sometimes they just ask if you, or they just ask if you lose. And so, I mean, Tufa Tech did end up losing that game, and Peru, they take it. They take the match point, and now they're going to Grants.
Bronze medal, still incredible for this level of tournament.
Very solid result for Tufa Tech so far. You can still hold your head up high. Got some pretty solid wins to go along with it. But with that being said, I mean, Peru, they may not have dominated this game like they did the first one or even the end of the third one, but they looked like kind of a complete machine here, especially just with everybody firing on all cylinders. I want to highlight Bonk again on that brush. Just made so many plays. Really well done, and was just kind of able to keep Tufa Attack at bay a lot of the time and get Peru back set up in a defensive position. Really solid stuff. I'm curious to see if that holds up in grand finals.
Yeah, are you inspired by all this gameplay? Because of just the way they're moving about at this. Hello?
Yeah, we're still here. Hello.
Yeah, I was just saying, are you inspired by the gameplay? How the pace they're moving?
It's a pretty interesting pace. What we saw Topital in the winners finals, they were able to kind of match the pace at times. I mean, these two teams played, and Peru lost 3-0. So, I mean, Topital was doing something right to kind of shut down what Peru was going for. Curious to see if it'll happen again, or if Peru has already made the changes to kind of prevent that from happening. We'll have to see after this quick break in grand finals.
Oh, good, I need a second. Wait. Oh, never mind. Hello and welcome to the grand finals of Paddling Pool 338. Can I get a verification on that?
It's 368, I think. Yep, 368.
Dang it! I was so close.
That's close enough.
368. Whatever. We're starting with Tope Propaganda versus Peru, coming from the loser's side. Oh god, TC Mako mods.
We're starting off on a pretty classic map here.
Oh.
Of TC Mako. We've seen this quite often.
Oh god.
I don't know if these teams have actually played it. They did face off in winners semis, I believe. And what's it called? I'm thinking very slowly right now. Topi Top Propaganda actually ended up winning that set 3-0 on a pretty shocking upset. But Peru are back. They're ready and raring to go. Really solid 3-1 win over Tufa Attack in the losers finals, and we're starting off on tower control now, which is they, at least on stream as far as I'm aware, they haven't been the best at it, but this is a new team, a new matchup. I'm very curious to see what they bring.
Yeah, no, I just shuddered because my team just does horribly at TC Mako. It's like a curse for us, but maybe the teams have found a strategy.
Maybe. I'm very curious to kind of see what they bring to the table. I'm looking at a few of these maps, and they look fairly standard, just, going through everything. And going on the TC Mako, I'm really curious to see, especially Bonk on those rollers. I'm assuming, no, the Kraken brush comes through again. And as well as the blaster, the custom blaster. Yeah, there's a junior here too. Very solid, just with the support, the paint output, bombs, bubble, really solid here on the on tower control in general. But I'm curious to see how the AoE does. We're on tower control, Mako Mart, really strong AoE.
Yeah, 2 down already on the 3 down. As soon as I open my mouth, 3 are already down. I can see what you mean about Topi Top Propaganda being strong.
They're really moving quickly here. A player down, but that's not stopping them from keeping this tower pushing forwards. Bonk immediately is the first to aggress on that tower, tries to get that retake going for Peru here. The 52 gal does end up going down as the rest of the team of Peru just collapses on the remaining members of Topi Top Propaganda. The junior is kind of left all by their lonesome on the bottom left-hand side, and with this crab tank, Peru, they're ready to get that first checkpoint broken.
Maybe, maybe not. They've gone through a few of their resources. We do have the blaster with that splashdown. I think you just ate your words there. I don't think there's going to be a first checkpoint broken for a little bit.
Maybe not. But Bonk is able to find one with the Kraken and back out relatively safely. It looks like Sam does end up going down on the other side of the map, and Shiva's looking just to maybe take this fight with the 52 gal, and Mirage is there to support, but Shiva ends up going down here. The junior, though, is doing a very strong job at just holding the space in front of the tower for the rest of Topi Top Propaganda, and that's going to give them a really solid hold in mid.
Yeah, if we just see that pen on Topi, can I call him Topi for easier?
That works.
Yeah, Topi. The side of Topi just trying to push forward with that pen, just holding its space, but back into a neutral state where it looks like it just goes the same as last time.
Everybody on Peru gets shut down immediately. Topi Top Propaganda, they're looking for just an extension of this lead. 60 points. While it isn't anything to sneeze at in other modes, in tower control, especially on Mako Mark, that's just the first checkpoint and then riding it a little bit further. But so far, Peru, they've not let Topi Top Propaganda get past that at all. The Blaster, though, is trying to find a little bit, maybe with the support of the big bubbler, but no, not quite able to find anything. Maybe just one pick. Yeah, just the one pick so far onto Bonk, but the rest of the team is able to shut that down pretty easily. Shiva's actually able to find a pick, and now with the rest of Peru just raring to go here, they're looking to find another couple of picks before they kick off the second push.
Well, you say they look for picks, but they didn't find any picks, so they'll have to pursue it as a 4v4, and it's not looking good. No, they did slim it down. 3. I think this could be a lead change if played smartly.
It very well could be. I mean, they're still on that first checkpoint, just not able to kind of clear it just yet. opting to just play for a little bit of the flank play from Bonk actually with that Kraken. Forces a few people to drop and not quite able to find. Never mind, they were able to find one. That's 2 players down on the side of Topitop. And I mean, that gives Peru a very clear path to that lead. Sam gets knocked off with the Crab Tank, and I mean, with Shiva here still putting in work on that decap. We were talking last set about it taking over games, and it looks like they still are on that weapon, and just barely not able to take the lead for Peru here. Sam just playing patient. Bonk under the ledge is able to clear out, and there's that lead flip for Peru. Not much, but still enough to take it going into overtime.
I think they can extend it a little bit more as they do have the Kraken on the side of Bonk, but it's interesting to see they're just trying to push forward, just trying to Bonk, just popping that Kraken. I think he's trying to get that lead changed, but you know, oh my god, the Kraken just went flying.
That thing gets exploded off the tower. I completely forgot. You're just not able to ride tower on Kraken anymore. That was a change a while ago, but I feel old now. Looks like the 52 gal is trying to find something, but is immediately shut down by Sam's teammates. And with 2 players down on the side of Topitop Propaganda, I don't know if they're going to be able to get back in relatively easily here.
Yeah, they're trying to extend that leader, or at the very least, maintaining that position as the Blaster finds 2. That's 3 down on Toby. Wait, no, wait, what? I think I'm
It's 3 down on one of them, and Topitop's back in mid, though. So they might be able to get a couple of extra points here, especially with the splat bomb pick onto Sam. That's no Crab Tank for quite a while, especially going into overtime. A very strong special. The big bubbler is up. And, I mean, Topitop Propaganda, they're looking for a little bit here. Not quite able to find it yet, though. And with Bonk on that Kraken, it's just the Blaster left, and they're not able to ride the tower. Bonk is on it. 3, 2, 1, and with the pick. Peru take game 1.
Oh, and the jump is an insult. Peru, game 1.
Very solid work. A bit of a scramble at the end, but Peru able to kind of close things out and lock in at the very end. Really excellently done from them, and they're going to take that early lead going into Rainmaker. It looks kind of dicey. I was concerned that they might not even have gotten past mid here.
I guess we'll have to see what happened again. It's just...
Really like kind of these aggressive setups from Peru that they've got going. I mean, we saw it in the previous replay with Chiva's Bubble and then with Bonk's Kraken. I mean, we highlighted it a couple times, but they are not afraid of popping these specials in very aggressive spots, kind of force you to deal with them, or else they make a massive play on the flank. And I mean, Topitop Propaganda weren't really able to deal with that and quickly rotate in time to get that tower. And that split focus really let Peru kind of take over towards the end here.
Yeah, you just took the words out of my mouth, completed them. So, yeah, not much to comment, but if you're Peru, that must be a real motivation boost, taking a game off someone who 3-0'd you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they're riding that momentum from the lower bracket from the previous 2 games in a row that they've won, and now they're looking to continue that streak on Rainmaker. A little bit of a tough one, especially for Peru, since they don't have a dedicated Inkvac player. I think Topitop does, if I recall. They may have had one in winners finals, but that also just could have been Tufa Attack because they were running the 96 Scout earlier. Curious to see if we see that switch up, because the junior field's a little bit tough to work with sometimes on this map, with the rolling bombs being a little bit different and the big bubbler. It looks like we're actually sticking with that. Just no backline, actually. The Tri Nouveau coming out.
Backless.
Like the idea so far, but they're going to have to play a pretty stable and decisive game more than anything here to kind of contest Peru. And so far, I mean, Peru's been just boxing them out, kind of just using their weapon range, and they've already almost got that first checkpoint.
Keyword almost. That bubble in the amount of choke point, it's going to take a little bit to get them to move, but it just seems that they're falling with the decaf and the brush keeping up the offensive. I think we're going to get checkpoint break. Yeah, Bonk is moving them with that Kraken. Oh, what the?
Shiva got picked off from something. I'm assuming like a fizzy bomb or a splat bomb. Tobito Propaganda's comp is very like well suited at just kind of stalling out around that. Again, those elbow choke points are very difficult to kind of break through a lot of the time, and that's what Tobito Propaganda is looking for. These fizzy bombs from the Tri Nouveau have been doing a pretty solid job so far. And I mean, they're still trying to get back into mid. It's not the best at taking the space, especially against a big bubbler and a brush and everything that can kind of just walk around it. And it looks like Peru's going to take full advantage of that. The crab tank from Sam already set up on the left-hand side. Shiva's got the dunk on the checkpoint, and they're looking to keep this push going.
Yeah, any point can definitely help here breaking a tie, but we have it down to a 2v2 with the bubble in the choke again. They always seem to have a bubble in that choke, but it doesn't matter. The Kraken just pushing them away. Trying to find a pick on the side as we have two assailants from different sides pushing, getting that tick down to 30. As they're going to look for a knockout. They're trying to push to get that kill. Trying to sneak behind. Get to 3. And this could be a knockout if they continue that push.
Excellent run from Sam.
No.
I was kind of able to just dash through it, and she was there still putting in work behind the Rainmaker while it's getting picked off by Bonk, actually, over on that left-hand side, and still giving Peru a chance to keep the scoring going. The 52 gal's not able to find anything, but now you're in a bit of an awkward spot if you're Peru here. You're kind of on this left-hand side, which if you can beat out the rest of Toby Top 2, very solid space to kind of get some scoring going, but they were at there at the same time, and that gives Toby Top Propaganda a lot of space to work with. Bonk is going to have to back all the way up to mid, and I mean, the custom blaster is trying to clear a little bit of the space, but has to jump out for that tactical for the reset defense on that left-hand side. And I mean, now Peru, they're setting up again, but I don't know how much time they have left in this Rainmaker.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I thought it's only 18 seconds. I just checked, so they could take out one of their teammates. Practical, but very funny.
Yeah, it looks like Bonk is keen on staying alive for as long as possible here, now making a dash, just trying to walk forwards and not affect the rest of the team. There we go, the Rainmaker is down. And Peru, they still have a lot of control thanks to Shiva and Sam set up, able to find a pick onto the blaster, looking for a little bit more, but the 52 gal is able to close and pinch from that left-hand side. And, I mean, Peru, they're going to have to just completely abandon post here, unless you're Sam and you're able to find one looking for that second, finds a good amount of chip, and Shiva's able to find some more onto the Rainmaker carrier. Mirage is able to clean up both of them, and this is a very different Peru from the winner's side.
Yeah, you were like, oh yeah, these guys 3-0'd them. Are you sure you didn't mix up the teams or something? Because
I hope not.
What I'm seeing here from Toby is Peru is just a major shake-up, and I'm not sure how Toby's gonna win this because just the circumstances need to win as we enter this final minute. And the advantage is back on Toby, but even still, they're gonna have to try and make something out of it. As that pen on Peru is just watching them as they try to get the checkpoint, and they'll tank it. But it's only 40 seconds left, and they've got to get to 2.
Yeah, they basically have to KO here, and while they have a good bit of space already set up, Peru is immediately there to retake it, and we already see Shiva on this tight angle. It's very difficult to contest a decaf, especially in a big bubbler on that spot.
Oh, just desserts.
Yeah, I mean, the blaster's able to clear a little bit of space, but only find one pick onto Sam, and you have both of the sharking weapons that are incredibly strong at shutting down that Rainmaker carrier still up, but on Shiva and Bonk on the brush and decaf respectively, and while Toby Top Propaganda are able to pick up the Rainmaker, Bonk with that Kraken just forces them into a pickle. Shiva's able to find that pick and end overtime before it even begins. And Peru, I mean, they're on reset point. They're super close to just getting this run back, setting Toby Top Propaganda to the loser side of bracket. We might have another set on our hands soon.
No way! A bracket reset?
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy! But they still have to win the bracket reset.
Yeah, they're gonna have to. But I mean, before even that, they're going to have to win a third game here against the Toby Top Propaganda that may actually be getting a little bit cold. Come to think of it, they had a little bit of time between winners finals and grands, and Peru's just been riding momentum so far. 4 games in a row for them. It's been looking pretty solid, and that push from Sam was just absolute perfection. I love seeing good Rainmaker pushes when you just find that perfect window to kind of run through and score as many points as possible. Always appreciate it. Sam knows ball.
Yeah, I'm used to groups into single elimination, so there's not much downtime. The most downtime you'll get is waiting for like a best of 3 set, and then you're back in. So I forget.
Not quite sure where you were going. I was taking a sip.
I said I'm not used to teams getting getting cold, as they say.
Yeah, they had a little bit of downtime there, and that sometimes can lead into some of these tougher sets.
I do wonder about their comp. Like, they saw the splash, they saw the pen, and they thought, no backline, or like no super long range counter.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the plan is there. I mean, pencil is a little bit awkward sometimes on humpback. That's why sometimes you'll see either switches to heavy or zap sometimes. It's still incredibly strong. But you do have to play a very specific way, especially with the Splat Bomb and Fizzy Bomb spam that comp kind of enables. We see the switch back to the pencil, though, for Clem Blitz on Barnacle and Diamond. This is just one of those maps where you want to have as much uptime as humanly possible from your backline. There's so many long sight lines and long angles to worry about that, you know, the crab tank is also going to be pretty big here, too.
Yeah, no, as Peru keep up that numbers advantage into that burst, already having a power clamp. Very quick on the draw there as the Pens do have a duel. Just trying to push towards getting that attempt, having that Kraken. We can have an early game push if they play their cards right, but they don't quite, so they're going to have to wait a bit longer.
Oh, they're still able to juggle a few of those clams, though, and Shiva's got a lot of space. But it looks like while we're focusing on the decab, the Blaster on the other side is actually able to get a ton of value just finding a triple. And, I mean, now Peru, their situation has been flipped on its head. Now they have to defend against Topi Top Propaganda. And this is one of the first times this set, I think, where we've seen Topi Top Propaganda have, like, a pretty solid, definable lead, especially economy-wise. I mean, they could possibly score up to 60 points here if they get a third power clam, and they're close to it, too.
Well, it doesn't look quite yet as 2 do go down, and it's soon to be a third as Peru just trying to mop up, and they do. Triple splashdown going down, not finding a pick, but a retaliatory pick from someone else. Nonetheless, it's back into somewhat of a neutral state. No, not really. I guess they just made up the difference really quickly.
Topi Top Propaganda is still able to hold a lot of mid control here, and that's kind of the name of the game, though. I mean, you're able to set up just about anything you want, whatever your imagination kind of whispers to you. You can kind of just set up however you like, but it looks like Peru is going to take full advantage of that. A little bit of passivity from Topi Top there as they go several players down. Sam's able to get a crab tank set up. It looks like Bonk was getting super aggressive in the top left as well with that, with I think like some quicker spawn or a Kraken or something, and now the situation again has been flipped on its head. 2 power clams on the side of Peru this time.
Yeah, flipping its head, what we're talking about, a coin, but getting that burst dunk. But as you mentioned earlier, that's not much of a push. That's just going to give them a pity. Sure, it makes a difference, but not much.
No, not quite. Again, this is one of those leads where it's not safe at all. You just need a dunk and then one more clam in, and then it's over. But with a couple of players on Topi Top Propaganda going down and 2 more power clams that they're ready here, Peru, they're looking to maybe extend that lead close to a crab tank as well. They have the Kraken close to a Tacticooler, and Shiva's back in with the jumps. This Kraken is going to go huge with the Kraken, just mix it. Able to find 1-2 picks, actually, and now the Blaster on the on the bottom of the pit, and maybe somebody on the back right. They're not going to be able to find anything as Bonk and Sam just rush forwards. Score down to 44 points remaining. And I mean, now you've got a very substantial lead for Peru here, especially in the dying minute and a half.
Yeah, you said there's not much of a lead. They said that they secured it, made it stronger. Well, actually, I wouldn't say secure. No, what I've learned from my time playing is no score is truly secure.
No, unless you can knock out, and that's about the only secure lead you can really have. But it's pretty close. You have to break back into mid, you have to get back into the scoring position, and you have to make sure you have the clams to do so on the side of Topital Propaganda. And I mean, that's not a really easy thing to kind of get under control here. They are able to clear out a little bit of their plat. Shiva's going to have to back off here. But with Sam and Bonk with their specials up, this is still not an easy fight to take, and Shiva's able to find a trade too.
Tommy taking that jump, trying to jump to the basket, kind of poking at an opponent, breaking the basket as they do get down, trying to jump that power and get that. No, yes! And get down to 60. But they use both of their pities.
Yeah, not only did they use both their clams, but they sacrificed just about everything to just get that one opportunity. And with 30 seconds left, you don't have any economy to speak of. You don't have any specials, really, outside of maybe the cooler pretty soon. But Peru is just going to punish you for that all day. They've already picked up so many clams. They're vacuum cleaners right now. One might compare them to... I'm just gonna... You insert, like, large company joke here. But, like... Peru have just been completely dominating so far. Topital Propaganda are able to get another power clam made, but they haven't made any progress in mid.
Yeah, no. It seems like Peru's just causing destruction.
Yeah, and with a couple of picks to jump in and the wipeout as well. Peru, they take the first set of grands. They bring us to a bracket reset in a 3-0
God,
of
she
their
said
own.
that had a coughing fit.
That's all good. But, man, I mean, we're back in reset territory, and these are two very different teams than winners finals, apparently.
You have to commend it to Topital Propaganda there. Just close games all around, but... Well, except from that second one, but... I mean, they tried at least. A bracket reset already? Do you think they're gonna flip the bracket reset given how decisive this first one is, or will they lock in?
I don't know. It's gonna take, a couple of games to really figure out what is gonna happen, but I mean, just based off the momentum, Peru's taken 5 games in a row so far, and they're not looking to stop anytime soon. Looks like we're kicking things off. We're going back to Barnacle and Dime for game 1. We're going to Rainmaker for it this time, though. Another one of those very uncommon map mode combinations.
Oh, no, I'm confused. Is the thing reset, or are we... No, because... I think... Wasn't Zones...
This is the start of the new set.
Yeah, Zones Haggle was the... Yeah, oh, that's...
So we are kicking things off on Rainmaker, Barnacle, and Dime. One of those maps where, like the tower control variant that we saw in Losers Finals, the lead can get away from you pretty quickly here if you're not careful. You go randomly like 2 to 3 players down. Sometimes you're looking at getting KO'd.
Yeah, no, it's like Rainmaker, but it's a lot different to Humpback. Way more open. Way better sight lines, so... Maybe Topital Propaganda will consider running a backline?
Possibly. I mean, it's a very... I would assume that they would. It's a very strong weapon with that Snipe Rider. And, I mean, with the open sight lines, it's just ridiculously strong. You'd be remiss not to, like, at least consider bringing it. And there it is for Topital Propaganda. Looks like we're just running back the same comps from previously, and I mean, Peru's just riding so much momentum right now. It's going to be hard for Topital to kind of get things going again.
Oh, we'll have to see if we enter into the neutral game.
Looks
Oof, pick already and a jump out to reposition. As that T-Cab's trying to take space, but it looked like 2 do go down, 3 go down, but they did drop the Rainmaker. 52 dueling that crab tank. Sorry, the splash, and they're just holding that space as the Kraken is going to try and push forward and disorient them. And they didn't get away in time. The advantage switches back to Peru.
Very solid hold for Peru. It looked very dodgy because Top did end up finding almost 3 picks there, but Sam able to stall out for a couple of seconds. I really like how even if players are staggering on the side of Peru, one player is always able to just find a shark sometimes and delay enough for the rest of the team to get back, and so far that defense has worked for Peru so far, and now they've got a pop, they've got map control. Looks like they just want another couple of picks, and Bonk is going to find it with the Kraken, and that's going to open up some scoring for the blue team this time.
Yeah, Bonk's Kraken's being responsible for 2 of the nice pushes so far. Bubble up on the side of the junior, trying to put that lead does take, and the checkpoint does break. It's not much, but it does mean something. Bonk is dealing with that brush trouble splashed out. Lives! And they live.
Big win for Bonk.
But we'll have to see if Bonk makes anything else of it, or is he just still Bonk backs off.
And it looks like Peru are able to hold a little bit of space, but they keep getting picked off. They're staggering again. And with Sam having to back out very low on that crab tank, Top Propaganda with the big bubbler, they might just get this checkpoint. But
God.
The Bonk Kraken is still going strong here. Everybody hop on the train. Kraken is so back.
That's the 3rd time Kraken has stopped or started a big push. Kudos to Bonk.
Very, very excellent. This is a highlight reel game for Bonk here, just shutting everything down on that. I think it's is it the Comets Octobrush? I don't remember quite the kit name. It's just the Kraken Brush to me.
Yeah, it's not much for the lead, but it's still a lead to Peru. They tick down over halfway. It looks like they're going to get the check. Just going to look out, see if there's a Bonk Kraken. There isn't. I was like, Bonk's in the snow.
There's no Bonk Kraken, but there is still a Bonk Brush, able to find 2, forced to jump out on the 3rd, and the 4th gets picked off by the rest of Peru here. Still keeping Peru's lead intact, but not one that you are happy to write home about just yet. You just cleared the checkpoint first, and that's kind of all you've got going for you. Sam almost goes down actually to the blaster. This is a bit of a tough situation for Peru, because now you have to decide, do you want to play like super aggressive and in your face, or do you want to play more reserved like they are right now and just kind of hope that their small lead was enough, hope that they're able to kind of hold space. With the big bubbler though, and close to the Kraken, it looks like so far it's looking good. Bonk is able to shut down the train onto the splashdown, and I mean the Rainmaker is able to run through for 45, and with a minute left, the big bubbler is up, and another solid hold for Top is in the works here. The bubbler is shredded, but so is Shiva, and I mean now Peru's got their work cut out for them.
Not much of a lead. They're looking to extend it, pulling out a bit more. What a cheeky push from number 3 there.
Yeah, very, very solid work for Top. They're able to kind of get a good amount going here. And, I mean, they're kind of happy to hang back a little bit. They have some very strong weapons that can put in a lot of work on the defensive side. You let that Gal Shark, you let that Blaster set up. And it's not easy to clear either of them, and all in the meantime, you've got splat bombs from the junior, you've got a pencil just shooting at you, and it's quite difficult. There's the big bubbler set up, and now Peru have to worry about a flanking Gal.
Oh, and Bonk going down with that Kraken. Oh no, this is not looking good. Yeah, it's not looking good.
Oh no, Sam is 1 HP in the pit, having to dodge bombs and still not able to heal. The splat bomb's going to clear things up, and Top Propaganda, they're able to stop a little bit of that momentum from Peru. They're able to keep that, they're able to just stop it in their tracks. 5 games is all you're going to get in a row, not the 6th. And there's a sign of life from our winner side team.
Yeah, but that lead was only like a single. both these just coming down to a single push or a single really good. And Bonk, despite those amazing Krakens, was just not enough in the end.
No, not quite. They're not able to kind of get anything going just yet. Or just with the Krakens, offensively speaking, outside the first checkpoint break, but pretty solid game. Otherwise, just a little lapse in defense. And that's kind of where it can bite you in the behind, where you don't oftentimes, if you have a close lead like that, especially on just an easy lead to take back, you don't want to play more reserve. You don't want to kind of back up. You're going to have to just risk it for the biscuit, if you will, and try and go for a little bit more of a lead, just something substantial. And it has me thinking, maybe if Peru wanted to, play a little bit more aggressive, they would have taken that lead. They had a lot of space, they had a lot of fighting potential, but they kind of just gave up all of mid as well.
I wonder who picked that.
Not sure. With the picnic system, I think it was just on there and nobody banned it.
Yeah. Oh, bread and butter is calling. Pick up.
This is the Splatoon 3 competitive map. I mean, it's Flat Zones on Hagglefish Market. What more can you say? If you've watched competitive Splatoon, you probably know this map mode by heart, and you know exactly what to look for. Look for those sides of the map. People are going to be making plays all throughout. And make sure to keep an eye on Shiva. That decav, the blaster on the other side as well. Really big playmaking weapons through mid can kind of get a lot going as well.
Yeah, I think everyone is very familiar with this map mode.
Mm-hmm. Curious to see if we have any changes. I doubt it. Maybe. Okay, we're just cycling through all the brushes and rollers at this point.
Yeah, I saw a brush change.
Yep, we're on the Octobrush Nouveau now. I'm seeing this one is interesting, to say the least. I mean, it has some utility with the beacons, and the rain can provide a little bit of damage, but we just don't see it super often because it's not as potent as the other kits. I'm curious to see if Bonk knows something that the rest of us don't. And so far, it looks like he does. He's able to find one pick, back off safely, and I mean, now all of Peru's got a decent hold of zone. They have to back off a little because of these flat bombs, but they're able to keep that hold going for quite a while here.
Is it back off the splat bombs? That wasn't enough, and put this triple splash down, finding a trade as Topi Propaganda just starting that push. Bonk finding that by finding two! Can that be a third, or will that not be enough? Didn't find a third, but lost the lead, but doesn't matter because they still got two and picked a third back to the lead. Zone back.
Mm-hmm. They're getting close to the lead. I mean, they've already gotten that penalty. The lead's not very far gone, and I mean, there it is. Bonk finds another pick to extend the hold, and with Mirage set up here on top mid, it's very difficult for Topital Propaganda to kind of move the pencil. They don't have a lot of long-range poke. They have to rely on just kind of taking space and forcing uncomfortable situations. And so far, I mean, it went okay in the previous game, but this is an entirely different monster in Splat Zones. And on this map, Mirage is just able to back up pretty safely, keep that zone in control for just that little bit longer. Splashdown's going to eventually flip it, but I mean, Peru, they've still got a lot of mileage out of that single hold they got.
Yeah, that triple splash bounty and the critical thing as it was burn through that penalty point. Bonk trying to pick the fight with the 52, but that splash roll just soaking up the damage and just killing Bonk. Taking through that penalty now, it looks like there might be a lead exchange.
It's entirely possible, and with the big bubbler set up from the junior, it's going to be very easy for Topital Propaganda to hold this for quite some time. The Ink Storm is going to come through, but it's not going to be enough to neutralize the zone before the lead flip. Two players on the left-hand side, though, going for a flank. Shiva ends up going down here as the 52 is able to find Mirage. And, I mean, while all this is happening, Topital Propaganda, they're looking for that KO. They've got a Killer Whale. They've got zone control. Everybody on Peru is making a mad dash, but they just aren't able to find anything. They neutralize the zone eventually, but the Snipe Rider is just still painting. The crab take from Samus pop. They swing. The big bubbler, though, provides enough cover for that blaster to walk up. And, you might just not have enough paint if you're Peru. Never mind. They've got enough with the Storm and everybody just doing their part on the zone. And Topitel Propaganda, they've got a very solid lead. They just need to find a couple more holds like that.
Oh, I don't know about that one, Chief, because it looks like Peru have got their ducklings up to the row and have started to set up, pushing forwards. Back to neutral, sure, but they do have that paint. They do have that control as the decap, holding that space with the blasted, engaging, picking off the decap in retaliation for trying to pick with it. And we have Topitel Propaganda back in the control.
If they still have control, the Storm comes up. Not quite going to find a lot of chip, but just a little bit, neutralizes the zone and gets the rest of Peru back in. But with this blaster on the bottom right-hand side, they're able to find one, almost a second actually. There's the second on the Chiva, and that gives space for the rest of the team to just swarm forwards on the side of Topitel. And Sam's the last one left, eventually gets picked off. And with Topitel so close to KO, they've got almost no penalty left. The Killer Whale is going to be massive in displacing people. Just kind of all this chip damage. Nobody's able to really move much on the side of Peru. Bonk goes down, tries to feed in. So does Sam. And Topitel, they put themselves on tournament point again. I don't know what's been happening, but we've just been seeing this Jekyll and Hyde dynamic between these two teams. I don't know what changed. What was said between the initial grand finals set and this reset?
I'm not sure. Maybe they were more relaxed because they knew they could afford to take a loss.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like you never want to just let off the gas in that sense. You have a little bit of wiggle room to play around with, and to like kind of take some risks with. But after a point, especially after 2 games of kind of getting smoked, putting it kindly, you'd expect Topitel to lock in a little bit more for Game 3, but that didn't happen. They saved the locking in until the reset happened, and now they've got themselves on tournament point.
I mean, don't count Peru out. They could reverse sweep.
They definitely could. It wouldn't be the strangest thing to happen on a paddling pool broadcast. We are no stranger to those reverse sweeps, but they've got their work cut out for them. They're going on the ship shape cargo company against on tower control against blasters, against 52s. Those things just brazenly take space, and it's not easy to play against.
I believe Epitaph got a reverse, if I'm trying to think.
Yep. Epitaph was able to get the reverse sweep, I think, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think I was there.
I think.
Maybe?
Kind of a fire set. But that was 2 weeks ago, and Epitaph ain't here, so we've got Topitel Propaganda versus Peru. And I'm not expecting to see any comp changes here, unless Bonk wants to run another brush or roller. What are your thoughts on it, Mouse?
Ooh. Maybe Bonk might go Carbon Deco.
Maybe. We saw him on it a little bit earlier, right? I feel like we saw Bonk on the Carbon Deco here.
Plus, if there's no time to bring out your signature weapon, no best time to bring it out than in danger. Well, no, but better to bring it out than not at all.
I know we've seen Bonk pretty darn good on a lot of these weapons, and no stranger to having them back up against them all. We're back to the Comet's Octobrush. And yeah, we're just running back everything else for everyone in the lobby except for that. A lot of special power up on that Kraken.
Yeesh. I don't know how much more time it'll get, but Bonk wants every millisecond.
Yeah, just try and clear as much space as possible. Just try and open up the opportunity for picks. Everybody kind of funneled onto the top right of Fort Topitel, and that's going to give Sam a free pick over onto one. There's a second for Bonk's Kraken. The 52 gal on the bottom right does clear out a little bit of space, and Bonk doesn't have the rest of the Kraken duration. Maybe a little bit more special power up would work there, but eventually does find that trade, and that gets Peru to the first checkpoint before Mirage ends up going down here. And now Toby Top, they have a good bit of map control. They could maybe even take this first check entirely.
Well, we'll have to see the 52 and the Blaster pushing up on the front. Crab Tank trying to snipe, getting a pick on the Blaster. As they do get to that first checkpoint, Crab Tank is going to start trying to do that shield lead change. Has happened. Bong's trying to come up with the Kraken to disorient them and try and get things. Bong getting picked. 2 picks with the Kraken. Yeesh.
I mean, these Krakens have been putting in work, but so have the Splat Bombs, finding at least like 2 or 3 picks every single game. And Chiva is going to fall victim to it. Looks like Peru, though, they're still trying to get this get this push going a little bit. With the decaf and a brush, it's a little bit tougher to just not having all that range that you want. You don't have a splash wall or anything to take the space, so you have to rely on these specials. You have to rely on a lot of the plays from the Crab Tank, and there's 2 players down actually on the side of Topi Top. Chiva does end up getting traded for it, but with this big bubble immediately getting shredded, you've got a good amount of time and space for Peru here.
You say a good amount of time and space, they've just got 2 down, so advantage already over.
Yeah, looks like advantage again goes to Tokuto Propaganda here. They've got a ton of mid control. They've got court as well, just kind of again just constricting where Peru can move. You already see a jump out is forced there. Kraken popped by Bonk as well. That does give an avenue, but it looks like the rest of Peru is struggling to capitalize off of it. Bonk is on the tower, is able to find one. Shiva finds a second, and it's just the Blaster who has to jump out from pits. Now Peru, they've got, I don't know how many times we'll say it, but now they've got another opportunity to maybe get a push, and the 52 gal just shuts the door there.
I mean, 3v4 can still happen. We have that exchange on the Blaster, but they have, oh my god. Maybe this is the time.
Maybe. Looking all right for them so far. Oh, and Sam with a pop from the Crab Tank, just a 1 pick there, looking for maybe a little bit more, shredding that wall, forcing the gal back into pit, but I mean, that gal can kind of just hang around the walls and do whatever it wants here. We already see it distracting 2 players on the side of Peru. Nobody's broken a first checkpoint here, Mouse. It feels like this never happens on this map.
Just shows how close the 2 teams are.
And sometimes how difficult it is to just get a push going. Bonk does end up getting found by the Blaster, and the 52 gal clears out a little bit more. She ends up going down.
No!
There is a disconnect from the side of Tobitop, but they have control. They have a lead. So I mean, this could go in their favor, just depending on how they want to play their cards here. Looks like they're opting for the pencil to keep control of that top left bridge. The splashdown comes through to clear Chiva. And, I mean, with Sam on that Crab Tank, it's going to be pretty tough to clear him. And is able to find a trade. It's 3v1 on the side of, in favor of Peru, and they've got a sign of life. They've got a minute left. They've got permanent player advantage, and if any times to make a comeback, now is it.
Yeah, I believe they've already passed the disconnect rule. So, tragic.
By far, but Peru, that's not going to stop them at all. They're not even thinking about it. They're just trying to think of ways to win this game, and they're on that first checkpoint already.
Yeah, but you're just trying to find that jump, getting picked up as the time ticks down. Just riding that thing. Unfortunate, but let's see if Topi Propaganda can try and reverse it.
Well, maybe, but they have to get a ton of picks with no answer here. With the Snipe Raider going down, it's just the 52 gal behind is able to find 2, but trades out. Sam is still riding this tower. Opts to reposition, just trying to play for that trade, just for the space control with the jumps in, and is able to find a lot of damage, even a pick onto the custom blaster. It looks like Peru, we've got even more of a fighting chance from them as they take the second checkpoint and the third game.
If that disconnect hadn't happened, I'm pretty sure I'm more confident Topitaf could have taken the whole thing, but disconnects happen.
That is what it is. Take those and run with it, you know? It kind of just a part of the game at this point, just with how sometimes it can be. And Peru's just going to take it and run. They've got a little bit of momentum with them now, and Topitop Propaganda, they're either going to need to find an answer or they're fourth. probably both to keep this going.
I still, yeah, no, you're just answering all my questions today. She's not a bad thing. I'm just still getting used to speaking like this again.
Yeah, and we've got, it looks like for a game 4, got a familiar face for Peru. Clamblets on Inkblot Art Academy. A, like we said, pretty small map. Tough to break sometimes, but as soon as you win like one fight, you can start snowballing that pretty quickly.
But that sounds like Toby Tough Propaganda could do the same.
Absolutely. We've seen though a lot. We've seen a lot of what Peru can do, and you know, whether that's setting up the crabs or Bonk just randomly making plays on the sides of the map again, just getting constant doubles. It's going to be tough for Topi Top to kind of deal with that. I'm curious to see what their answer is going to be.
Well, yeah, I'm not sure. Again, if they won and ran the same comp, what's stopping them from running the same comp?
I don't know. They seem pretty comfortable and confident on it. It looks like we're not loading in as there is another connection problem for Topi Top Propaganda. That's pretty tough. Looks like the same player as well. It looks like the excuse me. It looks like the junior's having a little bit of an issue. I'm sure it's something we'll get sorted out rather quickly though.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say I'd jump in, but no, I gotta be at the commentating booth, and I'm probably not what they're looking for. It's unfortunate.
I'm sure that either the Wi-Fi problems. Sorry. Sorry, go for it. I was gonna say something, but it's not relevant.
No, I lost. You go.
Okay. Hopefully, either the Wi-Fi problems sort themselves out, or Topi Top Propaganda do end up finding a fourth. Looks like we're gonna try loading in again. Third time's the charm, right?
I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm not. We can't see anything.
Yeah, it looks like just about everybody's loaded up. Hopefully. Still waiting on a couple of people to ready, and I'm a little bit concerned because somebody on Topi Top is not readied up just yet, and I'm not sure what that entails quite, because that may be the person that keeps disconnecting.
How do you know?
Because our streamer has both the camera on showing the game and the overlay. But we're going into it. Game 4 of Grand Finals and Paddling for 368. And Bonk's on the vanilla roller here.
I like the change.
Really? I also kind of like it. You're running the double bubble, which can kind of lead to a couple of issues popping up, but this is one of Bonk's best weapons by far. We've seen him just absolutely destroy people on this, and it looks like looking to do a little bit more of the same here. Gonna have to jump out, but has already created so much space for the side of Topi Top Propaganda, and the junior's kind of stuck in rocket hard place.
What? Huh?
You're right, I mixed it up.
Yeah, I was right. I thought we were talking about Bonk, and then you told me Toby Tough Propaganda, and I'm like, what?
It happens. But so far, I mean, 3 players end up going down for the side of Peru. They're able to get a lot of mileage out of that push. Mirage has a power slam ready to go. And, I mean, now Peru, they've got space to work with. They've got the big bubblers, and this is where that comp can kind of shine here as long as they get Mirage up there. Bonk also has a lot of damage. There's the pick onto the pencil. Looking for just a little bit more, but Shiva is going to have to back off, only able to knock it down to 77 points remaining here for the side of Peru. But honestly, very solid hold from them. Very good start. They're just going to have to be worried about these flanks here.
Yeah, no, 77 is better than 80 because you got Donkey and 2 clans to take them. A little bit more secure, but we're talking like A paper bag versus a soggy paper bag.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough spot for both these teams to be in. Not very consistent leads. It looks like the junior's going to be able to find a pick on the Shiva though, and with a couple of clams in the pocket, they might be able to get a power clam made. But no, it looks like they're just trying to hold the space for as long as possible, wait on those pod respawns, and I mean Peru, they've done a pretty good job so far at holding their flat, kind of preventing Topitop Propaganda from walking forwards a lot here.
Yeah, if we just see the Clams Bunch Juniors holding on to 7 made a power, but in the meantime, Peru just taking some of that turf back as we see the Blaster trying to approach, getting that pick, doing that triple splash shot, getting 2 as we head into. Oh my god, I think this is going to be a big push.
Oh, it might be. There's already 1 power climb in, but Bonk is able to find 2. Huge heroics from the roller again. Just constantly, I don't know what it is with Bonk in this map, but they just keep popping off no matter what happens. It's just constantly able to find the right play at the right time, and has just been saving Peru in so many of these games.
Yeah, no, I have a little soft spot for rollers, but yeah. Oh, I think what killed. Oh, I think I know what killed him.
Oh, maybe. But it looks like a lot of players are ending up going down on Peru here. Bonk is trying to make another play, but gets stopped by the big bubbler, has to back off. Plays safe around the cover. I really like that play from Bonk, or at least the route that they took to kind of back off. Just hiding close to the wall. There are no weapons up that can kind of contest that, and that's going to give a lot of space to Peru. They're able to maintain this hold and get another power climb scored. Shiva's got 7 as well and is in Bash, just holding so much space. And I mean, this is where the decaf can put in work and is able to find 1 more pick. They're looking to maybe jump in that power clam. Do they have time though? Just barely not.
I think they missed. They probably. Entering the final minute. Topitop Propaganda need to get a few more points, but they're at a numbers disadvantage. Sig.
They aren't really able to kind of get anything going here. They're able to just get the 1 power climb in, but so far, that has not been enough. You got 40 seconds left, and Shiva's still just on your plat. It's not an easy spot to be in for Topitop. And I mean, you might have just a little bit more, but if your junior is making a lot of the headway on the right hand side, it's not a great spot to be in if you're Topitop Propaganda.
Yeah, we'll have to see what works out as we tick into the final. They're going to have to make some aggressive push. They've got the triple splash down on the Blaster and the Bubbler online.
Yep, they've got a couple of specials to work with. Looks like nothing's going to quite come from them yet. And with Sam's Crab Tank, they've got a lot of just space cleared. They're holding off a lot of Topitop Propaganda, enough for 1 big bubbler to be popped, but you have to worry about this other side of the map. You see the 52 gal going for that ramp. They're completely shifting their focus to the top left. The gal is shut down, but everybody's making a mad dash. Again, Bonk is there to shut things down in overtime. And the Blaster, it just doesn't have time to pick up the power clam. And Peru, they force a game 5.
A game 5 bracket reset.
Pretty good stuff for Peru, especially. Again, I don't know what it is. Maybe Bonk is just like that on specifically ink block clams, but Peru and again Bonk have just been popping off these past 2 games. Again, it's just a completely different team. It feels like.
It just feels like hot and cold. It's insane. Just watching these 2 teams duke it out, but we have to wonder. That was
Wondering what we're wondering.
what the last stages? I think it was.
It's Rainmaker on, I believe, Undertow, and that does have a lot of lanes. Very, very solid option for a lot of the weapons that kind of just want to walk forwards and take space sometimes if you want to punish a team for not looking a certain direction, say a Splat Roller or a Decav. But at the same time, Custom Blaster's really strong there just with the amount of ledges. You can poke around top mid very effectively. It's going to come down to the wire here regardless.
I think we have to still give our flowers to who's the crab tank on the side of Peru.
Oh, it's Sam.
Yeah, no, Sam. I'm gonna say, like, especially well done to Sam for that. Because that ending could have been devastating, but that crab just, I don't think it didn't find a pick, but it helped them off at least. So sometimes it's not about the killing, it's the stalling, which I've come to that. Yeah, no, it's a lot of learning. A lot of learning.
Yeah, that crab tank is so potent. And we're going into Game 5 of Grand Finals for Paddling Pool 368. I don't think we've got any switch-ups for the side of Peru, but again, we're going with this backless comp. The Snipe Riders suddenly switched to the Tri Nouveau again, and I don't know. It didn't work the last time this was played, but a completely map could be just exactly what Tobito Propaganda need here to kind of like pull it off. It's just Peru is a well-oiled machine at this point.
Well, a well-oiled machine goes down with Brawler 2 going down already, as we have Tobito Propaganda taking that Rainmaker and just making a beeline for that first triple with the bubble already, and it looks like it's trying to start already. Raiden getting 2. It's 2, but the thing is, the crowd is watching, trying to find a pick, getting 2. It could have been 3rd. No, yes, they got 3.
Massive crab tank from Sam there, just forcing the Custom Blaster all the way back as well. And I mean, now Peru has got a little bit of a foothold. The Blaster's very low there on the left-hand side. Is able to find one onto Bonk, just trading out. But still holds a lot of space for Tobito Propaganda. So far, the switch up again onto that Tri Nouveau has worked fairly well for them.
Maybe because the extra paint and shuts down Bronk, which is very...
Maybe. But now they have to deal with the slightly more difficult part of this game where the other team has a crab tank, they have both the big bubblers up. You don't really have much to really contest, and 3 players down, never mind you have everything that you need to contest. Just 2 players stand tall of Tobito Propaganda, and they're able to hold off the rest of Peru for the time being. They've got a decent lead so far, but as soon as you like break the checkpoint and pop the Rainmaker shield, you can kind of take that pretty quickly if you're Peru.
Yeah, if you get the lead, and it just seems like Tobito Propaganda is just holding that middle space, not allowing, but they do go one down. Oh, and Bronk is trying to take advantage. Oh no, that was the decaf. I got mixed up. Big bubbler weapons. Oh,
And
no.
looks like Peru, they're not out of the woods just yet either. I mean, Tobito Propaganda, they're still just knocking on this spawn. They're trying to score even more points. They're waiting out this crab tank just a little bit. But, I mean, that gives the Bonk an opportunity on this roller to set up a big bubbler, to find that pick onto the Rainmaker, and get Peru back in here. Now they've got mid control as well, and this is where you have to really be concerned if you are Tobito Propaganda. How are you going to respond here?
They have a bubbler, so maybe? We see that blaster coming in from the right, switching back to left, as the blaster tries to make a push, get the pick. That's a critical push, shutting down an amazing, could be an amazing push. 2 going down on the side of Peru, and we enter the final 2 minutes.
And the last second weapon switch as well for Topitop, kind of paying off so far. You know, you don't want to jinx it because there's still 1.5 minutes left in this game. But so far it's been looking pretty good, but Chivo, the decaf, is able to find one. Force a lot of players back. Don't tell me Bonk is about to disconnect as well. We're not done with the tragedies just yet this game. It looks like Bonk is fine. Just a little bit scary just standing there and getting splatted pretty late, but still Peru's got a good amount of space. But both of these support weapons, or quote-unquote support weapons for Tobito Propaganda, are already set up on the top left, and you have the 52 gal on the right that is just able to find one onto Sam, look for a little bit more. The Rainmaker ends up going down, and Mirage is left all by their lonesome. Gonna have to back up into the big bubbler. I think that's Bonk still, that is just trying to shark around mid, play it safe, while Shiva jumps in, isn't able to find much more than an 80, and that Peru, I mean, they look dead in the water this map so far, Mouse.
Oh no! I'm just shocked at all the pushes they're trying to. Oh no!
Uh-oh.
This is not looking good. They just keep falling.
Yeah, they just keep struggling, and now Tobii Propaganda, they're looking to score even more, already down to 43. Mirage eventually gets the shutdown, but of what consolation is that when you've only scored a single point? They're going to need to find something huge here and quickly. If you are Peru, you're looking for any kind of picks that you can muster together. You have 2 specials to work with, but with the blaster behind you, Mirage is not very long for this push. And the custom blast again, just ratting out, is able to stall a little bit, find the trade. Bonk is going to have to go huge, finds 1. Can you pull off even more? Can you pull off the heroic Bonk? No, the splat bombs are going to find things. We have to go to overtime. And, I mean, with everybody just kind of collapsed on this left-hand side, the fizzies and everything are going to be huge.
Oh no! The 52! Oh, kill the Rainmaker! And that! Oh, game 5 bracket reset. Toppy Tap Propaganda! I am Paddling Pool 368 winners.
Yeah, the scramble was just really well executed from them. The Gal was just able to eventually just find a window to rush forwards just in the chaos that was caused by all of the spam and stalling from Tobii Top Propaganda and find that eventual pick on the Rainmaker. It was a trade, but that's one of the most valuable trades we've seen today, of just completely ending the game, ending the tournament even. And
you think what?
That's all I've got. That was really, really well done, but fantastic hold from Tobii Top.
I didn't think that change would be so drastic, but it was.
This is one of those maps where you can kind of just stall out a lot of the places the Rainmaker wants to push. Backless can oftentimes work on these where you can just toss Fizzies and Splat Bombs safely. I mean, the main weapons are no slouches either of the Tri-Slosher and the Junior, where you can kind of just, what's it called? You can kind of just prevent anybody from dashing onto you and have a lot of paint to work with. Unfortunately, the last second heroics of Bonk were just not enough here to give Peru a miracle. They were only able to run it down to like 92 at the very end. And, I mean, that's going to seal it for Tobii Top. They've got a paddling pool win on their belt. And, yeah, that's kind of all I've got. Very well done to them.
Yeah, I wouldn't count, sorry. Peru, Peru did a very good job. Actually, I mean, if you're Tobii Top Propaganda, you must be very happy betting to go win the last. You know.
Yeah. You're close on the side of Peru as well, but you're just not able to quite close things out. Always kind of hurts, but that is going to be the end of Paddling Pool 368. Yeah. And that being said, Mouse, where can the lovely people find you?
Look below at my main social. Oh, well, yeah. Tobii Top Propaganda will be winning a Paddling Pool badge for their efforts. Oh yeah, but they can find me on Mouse2217 at Social, or you can hit me DM at Discord for some feedback, because feedback is appreciated. Where can the lovely people find you, Sig?
You can find me just about anywhere where the Splatoon community hangs out, whether that's Blue Sky, Discord, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. At Sig Dakari, like you see at the bottom of your screen right there. It's been great casting with you, Mouse. Shout out to Ryan for pulling in another tournament shift and running production on our side. And we'll see y'all in a bit.